Fleming will receive an honorary degree today. Fleming is one of the most acclaimed opera singers in the world. She is a 4-time Grammy winner and the first classical artist to sing the national anthem at the Super Bowl. And if you get to hear her sing jazz or scat, you will be doubly blessed. Cubs surrender 6 runs in the 6th inning and lost 6-2 at Cincinnati. White Sox and A's rained out last night at the rate they'll try a doubleheader today. The Bulls took Duke center Wendell Carter Jr. with the 7th pick in the NBA draft.
You know, with my personality and the style of play I have, I bring a lot of energy to the game. So, I think it'll be something that fans will definitely want to come to the games and see.
Chicago also had the 22nd pick overall and took Boise State forward Chandler Hutchinson. The NHL entry draft gets underway tonight in Dallas. First round takes place tonight. The Blackhawks are well stocked. They get the number 8 pick and the number 27 pick overall. That's a selection from Nashville. The news service of LifeLock. No one wants to wake up to the news that they're the victim of identity theft or that malware is attacking their smartphone. That's why new LifeLock with Norton now includes protection for your identity and devices. Join at LifeLock.com. Use promo code RISK to save an additional 10% off your first year. 5:08, a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
It's become a summer tradition. Rockin' for the Troops returns this summer on July 14th at Northwestern Medicine Field in Geneva, home of the Kane County Cougars. Don't miss this year's lineup featuring Seventh Heaven, Ayla Brown, Rocky Lynn, The Voices, and Ryan Weaver. Proceeds will benefit Operation Support Our Troops America. Get your tickets today at rockinforthetroops.org. That's rockinforthetroops.org.
Spearphishing has or will strike your business, wreaking havoc on your employees, brand, and your bottom line. Spearphishing can't be stopped by traditional email security solutions because messages appear to be legitimate from your boss, a trusted colleague, or a vendor asking you to wire money, confirm login credentials, or worse. Barracuda Sentinel is artificial intelligence for real-time spearphishing and cyber fraud defense. Reclaim your email in minutes with zero impact on network performance. Visit barracuda.com/AI.
The expensive mattress you're considering buying is a waste of money. Hi, I'm Christian von Rickenbach, founder of HelixSleep.com, the only place to get a customized mattress starting at just $600. Just go to HelixSleep.com, fill out our 2-minute sleep survey, and we'll design a mattress made just for you with a 100-night sleep trial and financing as low as 0%. Go to HelixSleep.com/talkradio right now, and you'll get $125 towards your mattress order. That's HelixSleep.com/talkradio.
Dad, what are you doing?
Cramming for college.
I'm the one going to college.
Yeah, but we need to figure out how we're going to pay for it all.
Discover Student Loans.
Discover does student loans?
Yeah, they're one of the top student loan lenders in the country. It takes 15 minutes or less to apply, and there are no fees for the life of the loan. Best of all, I can earn cash rewards if I get good grades.
Really?
Yeah, we still have time to apply and get a great rate.
So I can just chill. College kids still say that, right?
No one says that, Dad.
Really?
Yeah.
Visit discoverstudentloans.com to apply today. Limitations apply.
Right now at CVS Pharmacy, you can earn up to 50 extra bucks rewards each year just for filling prescriptions. Which means the medicines you take to stay healthy might also do a little something for the health of your wallet. So visit your local CVS Pharmacy to sign up and start earning up to 50 extra bucks rewards on prescriptions. Terms and conditions apply. Not valid on all prescriptions, including those purchased in Arkansas, New Jersey, or New York. Other state restrictions apply. See cvs.com/pharmacy rewards or the pharmacy for details.
5:11. Let's get an update on the morning roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. We welcome in Jim Talamonte. Good morning, Jim.
Good Friday morning, Mike. The water is south. Richton Park Governor's Highway is closed between Sauk Trail and 216th. Flooding. Park Forest Western Avenue remains shut down. Between Sauk Trail and Boney Road. That's due to flooding. There's also some flooding in Frankfort on 45. Both directions south of Laraway. We're told it's passable, but with care. The expressways, despite wet conditions, especially to the south, things are pretty good. No crashes or incidents to report. There is outbound road work on the Ryan. 87th split, 3 right lanes till 6 this morning. The on-ramp from 87th is closed. Traffic's not heavy, though. Tollways are looking pretty good. No delays to report in Northwest Indiana. There are some closures in downtown Downers Grove for Rotary Grove Fest. We'll have festivals as well in Geneva with the Swedish Days, a parade causing closure of State Street on Sunday. Traffic Service of Discover Student Loans. Figuring out how to cover college costs? Discover Student Loans, one of the top private student loan lenders in the country. Great rate, zero fees, plus students can earn a cash reward for their good grades. Visit discoverstudentloans.com to apply today. Limitations apply. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answers starts next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center with meteorologist Kevin Snyder.
Flash flood watch in effect for this morning. Cool day with occasional rain and drizzle. High 66, then occasional rain and drizzle for the evening. Otherwise, a cloudy night tonight with a low of 60. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560, The Answer.
It is 62 at O'Hare, 61 along Chicago's lakefront. Your next news update, 5:30. Continuous news coverage at 560theanswer.com. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy starts now on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by the IRS Radio Hour with attorney Stephen Leahy every Sunday afternoon at 5 on AM 560, The Answer.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Of prom attendance.
No.
You all went to 2,633 proms in a row, right? One more than Cal Ripken's consecutive games played streak.
No, I went to 8 proms.
Right. You got a lifetime pass for giving this commencement address, 2002.
Oh, gosh. Okay.
Hersey High School. Let's hear it.
All right, so I couldn't find it at my house. I went back to my mom's house. I found parts of it, and, I keep photo albums, so this is from the year 2002. The date was June 8th. A Sunday. I have it here. So this is proof. Here's, I'm not making this up. I'm not Brian Williamsing you.
I feel like I'm being put in the audience that day. I'm taking a walk back.
It was a warm day, Dan.
Yeah, so vivid.
It had morning rain. It was so humid out there. But here it goes. Oh, I want to preface this by saying I was 4 months pregnant at the time.
Oh.
So I was a little emotional and a little out of it.
Yes.
Dear graduates of Hersey High School, it is an honor to be before you today. There are truly inspirational graduation speeches, noteworthy quotes, and witty commencement addresses, but this will not be one of them.
Hi-oh.
As I am a notable figure in the community, no. I just worked hard to accomplish my goals, but I was able to do so because of the teachers sitting in this very room.
Suck up.
I did win Biggest Brown Nose as senior year and Sexiest Legs. Here at Hersey High School.
Unrelated.
I stumbled up the back steps, but I walked out the front door. Freshman year, I was suspended for 3 days. My grades were C, C+, a few C-. It was deplorable. I was detached. I was uninterested. I just didn't care. So when I hit rock bottom, my teachers didn't give up on me, even though I gave up on myself. They inspired me to continue, not only encouraging me to study, but showing me how to do it. Eventually, I surrounded myself with friends who excelled academically, athletically. We shared the same goals. Blah, blah, blah. I graduated with A's, blah, 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 blah. All thanks to the guidance, love, and respect that I received here at Hersey High School. And then I went on with something else about them.
You know what's interesting is at Bennett Academy, it's weird because the symmetry between us. I also was voted sexiest legs at Bennett Academy. It's just weird.
Wow, winning.
Yeah. But I know from the speech, because you've telegraphed this earlier, that you have some recommendations for graduates.
Oh, yeah,
and they're still applicable today, 13 years later.
Okay.
So let's hear them.
Look around the room. You may not see each other ever again. Why would I say
Dave,
that?
So glad we had this time together. Caesar.
Always support one another. Well, I don't know, something like, I can't read my own handwriting.
Very inspirational.
Here we go. Don't listen to dream crushers, people who tell you you'll never be able to be a reporter in Chicago. Well, guess what? I made it. Please continue with the music.
It really
thank
does
you.
help. Yes.
You are going to have setbacks, unexplained tragedies, professional failures, depression, money woes, and it's all in how you handle it. Never give up on yourselves. Don't.
This was not the Nancy Reagan era, but I appreciate the Just Say No campaign.
Be true to
A
yourself.
lot of public service announcements in your speech.
Okay, here,
Yeah.
and this is the last one. Are you
Be
ready?
true-
If you're hammered,
Was that speech not exactly Captain, my captain? Not calling to mind Whitman, but it had a certain poetry to it.
I don't know. There's parts missing that was just, but
Now, did Bill Ayers ghostwrite this for you like he did Obama's autobiography?
no, I wrote that myself.
Really?
Yeah, but the best was the Pioneer Press was there. Oh, yeah. NBC News was busy that day. They couldn't come. And they wrote a recap. They just put a picture of me there. See, nice picture.
Yes,
really
very
did
nice.
have it. And wrote,
the gown, yes.
Yeah, Amy Jacobson, a graduate of Hersey graduate, speaks during commencement ceremonies. Jacobson, spelled my name wrong, is an Emmy Award-winning reporter, blah, blah, blah.
No respect. You were the Rodney Dangerfield of Chicago
I got
News.
no respect.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not even by the station I work for, but let alone by the Pioneer Press, because they made a rhetorical error, a grammatical error.
When you were done with that tear-jerking stem winder you just treated us to, did they then introduce all of your prom dates to come on stage? Kind of a "This Is Your Life," Amy Jacobson, and
no, they didn't.
because you also set the record at Hersey for most prom attend.
You know what? I think I did because I went to
right?
four at Hersey, and then I went to other school proms as well.
Traveling Roadshow. Yeah.
well,
sure.
I conquered the Mid-Suburban League. Anyone in the in conference who needed a date, I was there.
What was the student reaction after the tumbleweeds rolled by to your speech?
Well, the pass on grass one I got a few laughs from because you always try and make your audience feel comfortable and then try to inform them. But I kept it really short, obviously. But there's chunks of this that are missing, and I don't know where they are. That I think were more poignant and hit home to the audience more so than that piece of garbage I just read you. But again,
then stay in school.
Yeah, be true to your school. Yeah.
It's good.
So when you read your commencement speech, which I'm going to start a movement to have you deliver the commencement speech in 2016.
I won't read it.
Yeah, you will.
No.
If your school comes back and asks you to deliver the commencement
I will
speech.
deliver it. I will not read the speech.
What do you mean,
I will
on the
speak
air?
from the heart.
Oh, so you're not going to have a prepared speech. You're
Correct.
just going to get out there. All right, Dan Proft, hypothetically speaking, you're now behind the lectern at, why do I keep forgetting your school? Because I'm going through menopause. What's the name of your
you're
school?
jealous you didn't go to the best high school in the state, Bennett Academy.
Bennett
in Lisle.
Academy. All right, so you're
Yeah.
behind the lectern at Bennett. Speak to me. I'm graduating. What are you going to say?
Why can't you all be more like Frank Kaminsky? That's going to be
And
the
then you go,
sum
Frank
total of my
the
speech.
Tank.
Right.
Frank the Tank.
And then let's go streaking, and then I do kind of impersonation. I don't know. I haven't thought about it. That is.
You should start preparing now because I'm going to make a phone call. On your behalf.
As Robert Browning said, man's reach should always exceed his grasp, else what's a heaven for? I can't even conceive of being conveyed the honor that you were conveyed to give a commencement address, particularly of that quality, at Bennett. So it's just beyond my grasp, Amy. That's gonna be a dream. That's something for the next world for
If
me.
you're talking about it, Dan and Amy are talking about it. It's Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
I'm Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center on this Friday morning. Well, graduate or otherwise, seeing issues with some rain and some flooding in the Chicago area this morning. Park Forest, they come to a closure of Western Avenue. And this closure is between Sauk Trail and Monee Road due to the high water. Governor's Highway is closed in Richmond Park, Sauk Trail and 216th. Also some water in Frankfort affecting travel on 45 south of Laraway, though the road is open. I-65 northbound, stop and go from State Road 2 to before 153rd Avenue. That's due to a crash, blocking two left lanes. Seeing slight delays now, the inbound Stevenson, Ryan, and Bishop Ford. I'm Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
As a parent, you want what's best for your children. That means sending them to a school where they'll get the superior education they deserve, and that also shares your values. That can be tricky these days, as public schools have changed and private schools can be expensive. Your household budget has already been cut to the bone, and it's hard to imagine where you'll find that extra money. Well, there's help to lessen that financial burden and provide your child with the very best education at half the cost. At AM 560 The Answer, we work with private schools throughout the Chicagoland area to provide tuition for families at half the normal cost. Just log on to halfpriceschools.com and you'll find some of Chicagoland's finest private schools, from preschool all the way through high school, at half the cost. And chances are there's a school right in your neighborhood. Invest in your child's education and future at halfpriceschools.com. A limited number of half-price vouchers are available. Go to halfpriceschools.com now.
I've been suffering from depression for about 45 years. I've probably been on 5 to 6 different antidepressants. And even when they did work, and there was that underlying feeling of depression, and it would never go away. Just call one of the treatment centers and just talk to the psychiatrist or doctor, and you'll be on your way. I'm Christy. I'm a wife and a mother and a real estate broker, and I no longer suffer from depression.
HPR centers in Chicagoland and Milwaukee offer TMS therapy. In just a few weeks, you can change your life, and it's FDA cleared. It's covered by most insurance, including...
The warmth of sun is here for you to enjoy the great outdoors. Feel like an instant getaway with a beach vibe and fun for the entire family? There's a place nearby you're going to want to check out. Bridges Waterside Grill and Bridge Inn in Michigan City, Indiana. Bridge Inn is the perfect place for your Lake Michigan escape. Amazing attractions like the Uptown Arts District, boutique shopping, beaches, the zoo, casino, and museums are all in walking distance. Bridge Inn offers year-round lodging, but you can take in the sunshine at the Bridges Waterside Grill through September. Grab a cocktail and dine on fish tacos, burgers, and wraps with lots of vegetarian and seafood options. Book one of 14 suites at Bridge Inn before summer sells out. Bridges is located near the rotating train bridge on the Trail Creek waterfront in the heart of Michigan City. Don't visit Michigan City without stopping by the Bridge Inn and Bridges Waterside Grill. For more info and availability, visit bridgeinnmc.com. That's bridgeinnmc.com.
Buy a Zipa and feel good. That's ZYPPAH.com. And when you stop your snoring, you're going to sleep better. You sleep better, you're going to feel better. Don't procrastinate. Go to Zipa.com, buy a Zipa, and feel good. That's ZYPPAH.com. And when you stop your snoring, you're going to sleep better. You sleep better, you're going to feel better. Come on, let's get things going, people. Don't procrastinate. Go to Zipa.com, buy a Zipa, and feel good. That's ZYPPAH.com.
If you are behind on your bills, then this message is for you. How would you like to have a large portion of your credit card debt or medical bills forgiven? National Credit Card Relief would like to give you free information on a proven debt forgiveness program. It's not bankruptcy, it's not consolidation. This special program actually wipes clean the portion of your debt that is forgiven. Call for your free forgiveness information now.
800-291-6670. That's 800-291-6670. Don't wait. Call 800-291-6670. Not available in North Dakota.
AM 560. The Answer.
The story you've been waiting for all morning, Amy. Mohammed Abad getting down with his Abad self now that he's got the bionic penis.
Oh, my God.
Mohammed Abad lost his manhood in a road accident as a child.
Oh, that's right. Wasn't he on a bike or something? And he
got dragged, and it's just,
yeah.
It's just painful.
Yeah, let's not relive that.
He had relations for the first time this past March at the age of 44 with a professional.
Oh.
Since
Really?
then, he's received 50 messages from women desperate to try out his 8-inch prosthetic penis. There it is right there. I get messages from women online who ask me if I'll have sex with them.
Okay, gross.
They've heard about my bionic penis and they want to try it out.
Okay.
They're all very
This
intrigued.
is not like you're test driving a car, ladies. Stop it.
But he has declined because he's a gentleman.
Oh, he has?
Now, just so you know how it operates, I want to get into the
gosh.
details here because I know you're interested.
Yeah, how does this bad boy work, Dan?
His man-made member has been fitted with 2 tubes which fill with liquid from his stomach when he presses a button in his testicles.
Oh, it's so gross.
And then another button.
So gross.
Then you got the off button. The
Oh.
off button lets it deflate.
Oh. And then what does the liquid go back into his stomach? I'm going to throw up in my mouth.
I'm not a medical doctor.
Oh, I don't even want to. And then you show me his picture, and then you show me the thing.
He's just a good-looking gentleman.
I would have done better just never have seen his picture.
He's a shopkeeper in London, and he's now comfortable speaking out.
He speaks?
Listen to this.
And what about sort of future relationships with women and things like that? I mean, will you be very open about what's happened to you?
I will now, because I've learned the hard way.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, that's something I need to get into my head. You know, be honest. I've got something to show for it now, so I think it's right to be honest. You know, rather than before. Hold on a minute, maybe but now it's totally the opposite. You know,
come on, 20 seconds.
Hard way.
Learn the hard way. Get it into my head. Something to show for it. I mean, this guy's deadpan rivals Stephen Wright.
If you're talking about it, Dan and Amy are talking about it. It's Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer. What's happening here, there, everywhere? We've got The Answer. This is AM 560. The Answer.
63 degrees and rain showers, winds northeast at 12, 529 in Chicago this Friday morning on AM 560. The Answer. Good morning. I'm Mike Scott. Heavy rains causing problems across Chicagoland. We'll get a full update on how it's impacting your ride to work this morning from Jim Telemonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center in just a moment. But our eyes are on South Texas this morning, where heavy rain there is forcing thousands to evacuate flooded homes. 16 inches of rain has fallen in the border town of McAllen, Texas, since earlier this week, turning streets into rivers, submerging cars. 150 had to be rescued alone yesterday by emergency crews. House Republicans plan on voting on a compromise immigration bill next week. A more hardline bill failed on a vote of 193 to 231 yesterday.
On this vote, the yeas are 193 and the nays are 231. The bill is not passed.
After that official vote, a vote on a compromise bill that was originally scheduled was postponed. The European Union can slap new taxes on a wide range of American products beginning today. The EU's response to President Trump's tariff talk on foreign-made steel and aluminum is aimed at only in America products like Harley-Davidson motorcycles, peanut butter, and Kentucky bourbon. Some of the largest banks in the country are. ABC is working on a spin-off of the Roseanne show that will premiere in the fall with the working title The Connors. The network says Barr will have no involvement in the new series. 3 men accused of bombing a Minnesota mosque are being charged with a hate crime. The suspects were already charged with arson for the bombing in the Minneapolis suburb of Bloomington last year. But now a federal grand jury has added civil rights and hate crime counts. The trio traveled from central Illinois to Minnesota to toss that bomb into the Dar el Farouk Islamic Center. The bomb damaged an office, but no one was hurt. A Cook County judge says he'll rule later today on whether to release on bond a man convicted in the 1982 deaths of 2 Chicago police officers, Richard O'Brien and William Fahey, and order a new trial. 4 teens are wounded following a shooting on Chicago's southwest side. State police investigating a deadly shooting and crash on the Stevenson. It happened on the southwest side as Keon Berry was driving near Kedzie Avenue. There's an online petition to install blue lights at CTA and Metro rail stations. The effort is to prevent train suicides. Recent studies in Japan show that the lights attribute to an 84% drop in the number of people who took their lives stepping in front of a train. CTA and Metro rail officials say they're reluctant to install the blue lights because there's a lack of scientific evidence that the procedure is actually effective. Demolition has begun on one of the most famous theaters in the country, 3,400-seat theater in Northwest Indiana that hosted Bob Dylan, Jerry Seinfeld, Chris Rock, and entertainers for 4 decades. The contractor is tearing apart the Star Plaza Theater at I-65 and US 30 in Maryville. Star Plaza was one of the largest indoor theaters in Indiana, in the Midwest, actually. Oak Ridge Boys, the final act to perform there in December. Cubs surrendered 6 in the 6th inning and lost at Cincinnati 6-2. White Sox and A's rained out at Guaranteed Rate Field. Bulls took Duke center Wendell Carter Jr. with the 7th pick overall in the NBA draft. The news, a service of Discover Student Loans. Figuring out how to cover college costs, Discover Student Loans is one of the top private student loan lenders in the country with great rates, 0 fees. Plus, students can earn a cash reward for their good grades. Visit discoverstudentloans.com to apply today. Limitations apply. 5:33 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Mike Gallagher believes Trump just got reelected.
On behalf of Chairman Kim and myself, we're both very honored to sign the document. Thank you.
President just got reelected. The President of the United States just took a huge step towards guaranteeing his 2020 reelection with this historic, epic, unprecedented, unheard of summit.
The Mike Gallagher Show. Weekdays at 9, right before Dennis Prager at 11 on AM 560. The Answer.
Get your truly free credit score and free credit monitoring from Credit Karma. Download the Credit Karma app today. Credit Karma. Get knowing.
I love my family, but last week, not so much. They blew through our shared data again. Then we switched to Boost and got unlimited gigs, plus 20 gigs of mobile hotspot on each line for the whole family. For a great price. So now I love them all again. We just needed a switch.
Switch to Boost and get 3 lines with unlimited gigs for just $100 a month and 20 gigs of mobile hotspot on each line. Plus, get up to 3 free phones, all on a super reliable, super fast nationwide network. Boost makes it easy to switch. Switching makes it easy to save.
Offer ends 8/31/18. First line's $100 a month. Lines 2 and 3 are $0 a month. Requires 1 line to port in. Line includes unlimited talk, text, and data. Video streams optimized at up to 480p+. Music at up to 500 kilobits per second. Gaming at up to 2 megabits per second. Data deprioritization during congestion. Free phones require port in and activation on plans $50 or higher. Covered in offers not available everywhere. Restrictions apply. See dealer for details.
5:35. Get an update on the early morning roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Mike. Traffic is heavy early on the Kennedy with rain and a little fog. See a mild delay, Austin to Central. It's 22 minutes, so O'Hare to downtown. Outbound 21. There's a crash in Ohio, just cleared quickly out of the way. Edens is all right. Eisenhower inbound. Heavy Manheim to Des Plaines Avenue and Ogden to the Burn Circle. 32 minutes, 390 to downtown. Outbound 29. Stevenson, 38 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Ryan, 24 minutes, 95th to downtown. Bishop Ford, 26 minutes, 8094 to Merge. For closures of Governor's Highway in Richmond Park and Western Avenue in Park Forest due to flooding. Western closure, Sauk Trail at Bonnie Road. Traffic service of LifeLock. No one wants to wake up to the news that they're the victim of identity theft or that malware is attacking their smartphone. That's why new LifeLock with Norton now includes protection for your identity and devices. Join at lifelock.com. Use promo code RISK to save an additional 10% off your first year. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1-hour heating and air conditioning weather center. A cool day ahead, occasional rain and drizzle, a high of 63. Rain and drizzle continues through the evening. Plenty of clouds, a low of 60. Cloudy and warmer, 75 tomorrow. 62 at O'Hare. Next news coming up at 6. And Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by The Lou Bridges Show, a show about the greatest financial crime in history. Saturday mornings at 8 on AM 560, The Answer.
Hey, Joe Walsh here. This immigration hell week comes to a close. Where are we? We'll talk about that when Freedom returns at 5.
Good morning. That's a great question. Where are we? 312-642-5600 is our turnkey.pro answer line. 64636. Type in DA, then a quick
comment. Good Friday morning, Amy Jacobson here. Dan Proft on his way in. Apparently he overslept allegedly. We'll get the real story. But
he overgolfed.
Oh, that's right.
He
yeah.
overgolfed.
Yeah. Well, a lot of news to cover this morning. Of course, the passing of Charles Krauthammer. And we will get to that in the fine career and the legacy that he leaves behind.
Mm-hmm.
Died at the age of 68. But start with Melania Trump because she made a surprise visit. We learned yesterday morning that she secretly got out of the White House, got onto Air Force One, and traveled to a shelter outside of McAllen, Texas, where she offered her support and her love.
We all know they're here without their families. And I want to thank you for your hard work, your compassion, and your kindness you're giving them in these difficult times. I'm here to learn about your facility, and which I know you house children on a long-term basis. And I also like to ask you how I can help.
So she offered her, her help, what she could do. She did a quick tour of the facility. That's where they house 12 to 17-year-olds, and 10% of them have been or are going to be reunited with their parents. The main goal here is to get families that are separated back together. We know of the 2,300 children, 500 have been reunited with their family, including that Guatemalan woman who sued the Trump administration because they took her son away. Last night, she was reunited with her son and deported back to Guatemala. But the big story this morning, what kind of took away from her lovely efforts to be with the children and to support the children, is when she got on to Air Force One, she had on a jacket that surprised me. It was an army green jacket, and on the back it read, "I really don't care, do you?" in big white graffiti-like letters. It's kind of strange, considering the firestorm over separating migrant children from their families. The coat was from last year's. It's a Zara. Do you have that brand? Zara. I've never heard of Zara.
All over my house. I am such a fan of that brand, and I just can't tell you. I've been lavishing it on my wife and my daughter for years now, and in fact, I have some in my closet, too.
I'm sure you do. Yes. You wore your Zara today. But
yes,
this is a $1 billion model who puts on a $39 jacket from last year and says that there's no message. Everyone's watching her, and she has on the back, "I really don't care, do you?" What message was she sending? What was she talking about? Immigration? Was she talking about the media? Was she talking about her recent kidney procedure?
Mm-hmm.
When the reporters were hounding on her, like, what really happened? Because it was a 3 to 4 hour kidney operation that she had.
Mm-hmm.
So 312-642-5600 is our turnkey.pro answer line. 646-36 turnkey.pro answer or text line. Because I've been fiercely protective of Melania Trump. I think she's a beautiful woman. She's doing an excellent job. But why wear that coat? The whole world was watching her. And her spokesperson said, Stephanie Grissom, I butchered that name, said there's no hidden message in the jacket, and I hope that the media isn't going to choose to focus on her wardrobe.
I think the message was very typical from a very media-centric first family that does nothing without thinking or trying to appropriate the 24/7 news cycle. It's very easily, I think, determined that someone said, hey, wear this because it will cause buzz and controversy and will bring us to the top of the news cycle and also will raise awareness to the issue, which is ancillary to the fact that you're raising the name Trump in an election year, in a mid-year. Everything this White House does is media-focused, media-centric, even the First Lady.
I was hoping that it was a coincidence.
So I don't think it is. I think it's
bunched up in back, where I thought there was some Arabic writing on her back because it's graffiti-type letter, but it was scrunched in. So I don't even know if she realized what she was doing when she was wearing that jacket. And it's really hot in Texas. I don't think you need a jacket anyway to go. But when she landed in McAllen, Texas, the jacket was gone.
Yeah, I think, and I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying everything that this White House does is calculated and is for effect and for maximum effort. And we should be used to this by now. We went through the 8 years of the Obama administration where everything was calculated for maximum media effect, and we can't expect anything else out of the White House. This is the new...
Michelle Obama would have never worn a jacket like that. Laura Bush would have never. Hillary Clinton couldn't put that on her pantsuit. I mean,
Michelle Obama would have used words, not a jacket.
Yeah, but why would you even say when you're going to see children who are so distraught, most of them have been separated from their parents, don't know where their parents are. I really don't care, do you?
I think everything is calculated for maximum effect. I think it's a simple matter of, hey, wear that jacket, it'll cause buzz. It wasn't designed to be, if it was designed to cause controversy, it was politically designed by President Trump's people to be a middle finger at the media. That's really all I'm going to put into it right now, and anything more than that is probably stepping into deep water.
According to CNN, she insisted, even before her husband signed the executive order, she went to him and said, tomorrow morning, I'm going to one of those shelters.
It's possible, yeah.
Yeah, no, CNN reported that, ABC News, that she was insistent that she goes. Other publications were saying that she went for damage control. I don't think she was going for damage control.
No,
I just think she's a compassionate person, and she just wanted to see how these shelters were being run. And if you look at all the video of the kids, there's kids in 17 different states.
Mm-hmm.
They have, just because, I've volunteered at schools and I used to be a substitute teacher, those kids have nice shoes, nice clothes, the finest of backpacks. I mean, they're being, we don't see their faces, but then you see, the food that they're eating, and we are providing for them. So if anybody thinks we're not providing for them, shame on them. 312-642-5600 is our Turnkey.pro answer line. Let's go to Chris, who joins us from Aurora. Good morning, Chris.
Okay, I'm going to try to lay this out very good and prosecute this case right here, one try.
Help me out.
Okay, you need to be able to stand on this foundation. Do you believe she cares about those kids, yes or no?
Oh, completely I do.
Okay, so do I. So we're going to stand on that foundation, and we're not going to be wavered. So she's been in the White House right after her surgery. 2 days ago, Peter Fonda is saying stuff about her kid, putting him in cages with a pedophile. She can't come out right just like any normal person and fire back because she's the first lady. So she wears this jacket. And as far as anybody is concerned about, it was bad timing, you shouldn't have did it in this format or whatever. No. This is her firing back because this is the first time she came out of the White House. It's about Peter Fonda and has nothing to do with the immigration thing because we all believe she truly cares about those kids.
All right.
Case over.
Thanks, Chris. Let's go to Roosevelt, who joins us from Midway. Good morning, Roosevelt.
Good morning, guys. How you doing this morning?
Good. How are you?
Excellent.
Fantastic. I think I call it the dog whistle cult, and I also look at it the other way. She's used to wearing the best things in as far as a model. She was a model, right? First lady, and she picks a coat that's $39. Also, I don't remember seeing her with any wardrobe with any writing. I don't, any pictures, videos. So out of all the things in her wardrobe, she wears something with writing, and specifically something that says, I don't care, do you? And she goes to a place where she's supposed to show, as a first lady, that she cares. I think it's a dog whistle cult for her husband, husband's base, raw meat.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he might have something there. Again, it goes back to the White House. I think she is, but remember, it's maximum political effect, news cycle. The Trump administration. Trump administration learned that from previous administrations, and they're using it to maximum effect.
Yep.
All right, thanks, Roosevelt, for the call. Let's go to Debbie, who joins us from Schaumburg. Good morning, Debbie.
Good morning, guys. I have to agree. I think it is a middle finger to the media. They've been terribly abusive to her, bullying her, accusing her of being a victim of physical abuse from her husband, threatening to take her child away, making fun of her accent, and all of the media bullying her and not being proactive and going down there themselves to see what's going on and actually possibly lending a helping hand. And I am with her all the way in this president. That's all I have to say.
All right. Thank you, Debbie. I just wanted her to bring back the heels. Wear those 5-inch stilettos And maybe she could have read Party Animals.
Party Animals.
All right, let's go to Paul, who joins us from New Lenox. Good morning, Paul.
I think Melania's got so much poise that the jacket she wore was a rebuttal to saying that she does really care and doesn't give the media a chance to come back and say the Trumps don't really care, because she was one of the one who kind of persuaded Donald to pass that executive order. And that's all. I agree with the other callers on that. So I don't think it's a big political statement. It's her way of just being poised in the First Lady and saying, hey, I'm here. I really do care. So whatever you read into it doesn't matter.
All right.
Great show again.
Thanks, Paul. John has a very interesting take on this. John joins us from Palatine.
Hi, good morning. I wonder if she was set up. Yeah, apparently she told her husband that she was going to do this. He may have been a little bit perturbed. She took it upon herself, and so someone kindly found a jacket for her to wear with the message. And she didn't wear it, apparently, when she got off the plane. So if it was so important to her, why didn't she keep it on?
Yeah, that's a good point. And also, too, it was scrunched up in the back, so you couldn't read it. What they had to do is take, something off the internet of that jacket and the style, and that's when you could see, I really don't care, do you? Quickly, let's go to David, who joins us from beautiful McCook. Good morning, David.
Lovely McCook. Happy Friday, guys.
Thanks.
The new catchphrase from the left is the word outrage. 50% of the articles I read on the news, everybody from the left is outraged over things that most of us could care less about. So I'm just waiting to see a news article that somebody was outraged over Melania Trump's jacket.
All right. Thanks so much, David. All I know is that when I saw her in McAllen, Texas at that shelter, I knew she was going to make everything better.
These children, most of them come here alone, without parents.
The majority of our children.
Listen to Dan and Amy on your smartphone. Download the AM560 mobile app today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
Well, look who just showed up in between parties. It's the party animal. The other one. Dan Props here. Weather. Hello? You going to say hello? Or you... Oh, no. Okay. He doesn't speak before 6. Okay. He's going to pantomime. Today, we're going to have cool conditions. You'll see when you get outside. It is 62 degrees. We're only going to go up 1 degree higher to 63. Rain and drizzle throughout the day. Just an awful day. Then tomorrow, mostly cloudy, warmer, high of 75. And on Sunday, pleasant with some clouds and sun. Back to normal, a high of 80 degrees. Let's get into the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here is Jim Talamonte. What jacket are you wearing, Jim? And what does it say?
No writing on my clothes. No, no, thanks, Amy. Good morning, and good morning, Dan, as well. With the rain, things are heavy early on some of the expressways. The Kennedy are already 24 minutes O'Hare to downtown with delays between O'Hare and Central Avenue. The Eisenhower inbound delays start at Manheim. It's 33 minutes, 390 to downtown. Stevenson, 45 minutes, 355 to the drive. Ryan, 32 minutes, 95th to downtown. Bishop Ford, 33 minutes from 8094 to the merge. And northbound Tri-State has a delay, Plainfield Road to 31st. I'm Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
Famous conservative quotes, presented by Automated Systems.
Ronald Reagan was quite accurate when he said, "The most terrifying words in the English language are, 'I'm from the government, and I'm here to help.'" Modern conservatives would wholeheartedly agree.
It's important we support companies that share our conservative values. If you are a manufacturer, I encourage you to call my friend Laz Kulchar from Automated Systems. As a software and systems integration company, Automated Systems creates custom solutions to make your production lines, facilities, and plants run more efficiently. Imagine less downtime, more speed, and fewer rejects. It doesn't matter if you're a Fortune 500 or a startup, Automated Systems delivers solutions for your toughest automation challenges. For information, I encourage you, man, to talk to Laz at Automated Systems. Call 844-HIRE-ASI or visit automatedsys.com. That's 844-HIRE-ASI.
The celebration of our troops and veterans continues at Joe Cotton Ford. There's $750 bonus cash for all active military and veterans. Plus, next month on July 14th, please join us for our USO Barbecue for the Troops, raising awareness and funds for local troops and their families. It's always a great event and certainly a great cause. You won't want to miss it. Good food, lots of fun, and great savings. Like the $750 Veterans Bonus Cash offer, plus all the great savings from Joe Cotton Ford. Please join us for a day of celebrating our military and our community on July 14th, and you'll see why we're Chicagoland's best Ford buying experience, and why Ford is America's best-selling brand. And don't forget all the Joe Cotton Ford exclusives that make a Ford from Joe Cotton Ford a better value. It's our promise to you. We'll treat you great and save you money. From 3 generations of our family to yours, you have our word on it. At Gary and North Avenue in Carroll Stream or at joecottonford.com.
On select vehicles through July 9th. See dealer for details.
Is your computer slowing down?
Yep, I guess I need a new one.
Wait before you waste your money on a new computer. Go to mycleanpc.com and get a free computer diagnosis. In minutes, you can activate MyCleanPC software to clean out the junk that could be putting your privacy at risk. Unwanted pop-ups, errors, or spam not only slow your computer down, they may allow third parties to track your activities. Go to mycleanpc.com for a free computer diagnostic. Increase your computer speed today with mycleanpc.com.
Highland Park Ford Lincoln's in the house. Here's Alan Marty.
For 30 years, we've been making people happy with incredible deals and service.
We're the best Ford Lincoln dealers in town.
Because making people happy makes us happy.
No doubt. This is one happy place.
Heck, we just break into dance all the time.
We don't break into dance at the dealership.
Sure we do.
No, we really don't.
We could. Come on, Marty, dance with me.
The Highland Park Ford Lincoln Superstore. Call 1-800-984-9000 or go to alanmarty.com.
Admit it.
Okay, you're a lovely dancer.
Thank you. This is Alan Marty. Deal with us.
A storm is on the horizon, and you need to keep the lights on no matter what. Your business relies on the power being on 24/7. It's the lifeblood of your data and computer systems. Weather-related outages from the power company are not acceptable. Your need for a source of power that's reliable 24/7, along with round-the-clock service that can dispatch technicians to your site immediately, is mission critical. Your business needs Charles Equipment Energy Systems on speed dial. These are the big boys, not residential or solar, but reliable industrial generators for emergency backup or events. When you need more than a 100-foot extension cord plugged into a small engine generator, call Charles Equipment Energy Systems. They keep the lights on with rental generators for job sites or power outages. The storm season is here. Plan ahead. Call now to prepare generators for sudden damage and potential power outages. Call 630-834-6000. That's 630-834-6000 or charlesequipment.com. charlesequipment.com.
We're all ready for sunshine, drinks on warm nights with friends, and getting in shape for the summer. Do it all at Riviera Country Club and Sports Center in Orland Park. A 100,000 square foot private facility with affordable fitness and social activities the entire family can enjoy. Keep your workouts fun with 64 aerobic, strength and conditioning, aquatic, and yoga classes, all included with your membership. Work on your jump shot on a full basketball court, your backhand on 2 indoor courts and outdoor clay courts. You can even take a ride on their outdoor water slide and enjoy a few laps in their indoor pools. For mental relaxation, Riviera Country Club and Sports Center offers a men's and women's spa, each with their own sauna, steam room, and whirlpool. Wrap up the day poolside with food and beverages from Gatto's Restaurant and Bar. Call Riviera Country Club and Sports Center now to join, and the first 50 callers get their first month free. Call 708-349-1100 to schedule a tour today. Again, that's 708-349-1100. Riviera Country Club and Sports Center, much more than a health club.
Hey, Craig and Leslie here from In the Know. I love to barbecue, but there's nothing worse than running out of propane in the midst of cooking. It's all about being prepared, and that's how we look at your retirement planning.
Absolutely. That's why our whole team at Wealth Management Group is fired up about helping you be ready.
Tune in each week as we discuss practical ways to be ready for your retirement.
Find us at investwithwmg.com and pick Wealth Management Group to be your +1 this summer. Listen to In the Know Sunday mornings at 10, right here on AM 560, The Answer.
5:57. Get a check on the roads this early morning in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here is Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Mike. The flooding in Richton Park has Governor's Highway closed, Sauk Trail to 216th, and in Park Forest Western block in Sauk Trail and Monee Road. Delays on I-65, northbound State Road 2 to before 153rd Avenue with 2 left lanes blocked. There's a crash southbound, crash State Road 14 to the left lane. Eisenhower now jammed outbound. Delays from Austin to Wolf. 3 left lanes are blocked with a collision involving a jackknife semi. This may be there for a while. 55 minutes out to 390. Inbound, it's 41 minutes. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Calamonte, AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues after a full update from Fox News and your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center and meteorologist Kevin Snyder.
Occasional rain and drizzle throughout the day and into the evening with a high today 66. Cloudy through the night, low 60. Mostly cloudy tomorrow, high 75. Partly to mostly cloudy tomorrow night with a low 62. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560, The Answer.
Currently 62 at O'Hare. The news, a service of LifeLock. No one wants to wake up to the news that they're the victim of identity theft or that malware is attacking their smartphone. That's why new LifeLock with Norton now includes protection for your identity and devices. Join at lifelock.com. Use promo code RISK to save an additional 10% off your first year. 5:59. Here are the stories we're following this morning on AM 560. The Answer. Heavy rain causing major problems across Chicagoland. A flash flood watch is in effect until 10 a.m. 3 central Illinois men are now accused of hate crimes in the bombing of a Minnesota mosque. Cook County judge says he will rule later today on whether to release on bond a man convicted in the 1982 deaths of 2 Chicago police officers. The village of Skokie taking on Evanston over a water rate increase. Cubs lose to Cincinnati, while the White Sox and A's were rained out at Guaranteed Rate Field, and the Bulls take Duke center Wendell Carter Jr. with the 7th pick overall in the NBA draft. Cool with occasional rain and drizzle in your forecast today with a high of 63. WIND Chicago News Time, 6 o'clock.
House Republicans need more time. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. They've delayed a vote on immigration reform until next week.
Within the Republican conference, we have a wide array of viewpoints, but frankly, everybody wants to solve this problem, and I think that's what's been most encouraging.
GOP Congressman Steve Scalise, a more conservative version, failed. It did not allow a path to citizenship for immigrants brought here illegally as kids. The one they're still working on would. President Trump moments ago tweeted, even if we get all the Republican votes in the Senate, we still need 10 Democrats to go along with the bill. So he says we need to elect more Republicans. This is the controversy still simmers over the president's zero-tolerance policy. Democrats are critical of his executive order to stop separating children from parents prosecuted for entering the U.S. illegally, saying it's now just imprisoning families together. The First Lady got involved yesterday. Fox's John Decker live at the White House.
First Lady Melania Trump back at the White House this morning after making an unannounced trip to McAllen, Texas to get a first-hand look at the crisis affecting immigrant families at the U.S.-Mexico border.
How I can help to these children to reunite with their families as quickly as possible.
Separately, a senior Trump administration official tells the AP that about 500 of the more than 2,300 children separated from their families at the border have been reunited since May. A centralized reunification process is being set up for the remaining separated children. Dave?
And John, a lot of the coverage of her trip was focused on the jacket the First Lady wore with the words, "I really don't care, do you?" Caused a stir on social media. President Trump tweeted it refers to the fake news media. In East Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, a second day of protest. Nearly 1,000 people angry at the police shooting death Tuesday of a 17-year-old boy who fled a traffic stop. Protesters at one point shut down a major interstate. Some sat down on the highway, stopping traffic in both directions. This is Fox News. Fair and balanced.
On AM 560, The Answer. Your opinion counts. And we want to know how you feel about the news stories we're talking about each and every day. Make sure to vote in the M13 Graphics Opinion Express poll at 560theanswer.com. Listen for today's poll question at 10:30 a.m., 12:30 p.m., and 3:30 p.m. And hear the results each evening at 5:30. It's the M13 Graphics Opinion Express poll on 560theanswer.com.
All money managers may seem pretty much the same. But while some money managers may recommend high commission investment products, Fisher Investments avoids them. Some money managers may have hidden and layered fees. Fisher Investments never does. And while some money managers are happy to earn commissions from you, whether you do well or not, Fisher Investments fees are structured so we do better when you do better. In other words, we're structured to be on your side. Maybe that's why most of our clients come to us from other money managers. Talk with us and find out why so many experienced investors are switching to and staying with Fisher Investments. Fisher Investments, clearly better money management. Investments in securities involve the risk of loss. Visit us at FisherInvestments.com to find out what we can do for you.
Spearphishing has or will strike your business, wreaking havoc on your employees, brand, and your bottom line. Spearphishing can't be stopped by traditional email security solutions because messages appear to be legitimate from your boss, a trusted colleague, or a vendor asking you to wire money, confirm login credentials, or worse. Barracuda Sentinel is artificial intelligence for real-time spearphishing and cyber fraud defense. Reclaim your email in minutes with zero impact on network performance. Visit barracuda.com/AI.
The expensive mattress you're considering buying is a waste of money. Hi, I'm Christian von Rickenbach, founder of HelixSleep.com, the only place to get a customized mattress starting at just $600. Just go to HelixSleep.com, fill out our 2-minute sleep survey, and we'll design a mattress made just for you with a 100-night sleep trial and financing as low as 0%. Go to HelixSleep.com/talkradio right now, and you'll get $125 towards your mattress order. That's HelixSleep.com/talkradio.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy, and yes, I am wearing Zara today.
I knew you would be. You're so fashionable. You're so fashion forward because whatever's old is new.
Try to be au courant.
Yeah.
Like Melania. And just because I, too, was a high-end fashion model in my day doesn't mean that I can't wear things that are not opulent, but that are, keeping with current trends.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Zara, good luck trying to find a Zara jacket. They're selling like hotcakes.
Yeah, let me ask you this question, though. Are you buying the rhetoric that both the Democrats as well as Speaker Ryan and the Republicans are selling? Does anything that has happened this week with our hyper-focus on immigration and the family separation policy and sort of relitigating the larger debates about immigration reform, do you sense that there has been any movement? Has anybody on either side, to the extent there are only two sides, I think there's more than that, but has anybody in the public eye, anybody in a public policymaking position, said anything different that you think advances the flag, including the president, other than by executive order allegedly eliminating the family separation policy, which is nothing more than reverting back to the catch and release? But one could argue that's a change. I would argue it's not. Has anything changed? All of the sob stories, all of the histrionics, all of the partisan back and forth, even the infighting in the House Republican caucus after the Goodlatte bill went down yesterday and the Ryan-backed bill postponed for a vote until next week.
That happened. And no Democrats voted. So that didn't advance anything, and they're kicking the can down the road by voting next week.
So has anybody said or done anything interesting from your perspective to advance the flag this week? 312-642-5600, Turnkey.pro answer line, 64636DA, Turnkey.pro text line.
President Trump agreed with you, what you said yesterday about this executive order about separating families and trying not to have that happen.
Democrat and court-ordered loopholes prevent family detention and lead to family separation, no matter how you cut it. I signed a very good executive order yesterday, but that's only limited. No matter how you cut it, it leads to separation ultimately.
The only person, I'll be the first to offer an answer to my own question.
Okay, yes.
The only person who's done something new this week that I think probably solves the problem.
Yeah.
As usual.
Who?
Alyssa Milano. There she goes again, solving public policy problems. She so moved by the images and stories, whether they're fact-based or not, of children and foster care facilities in Harlem separated from their parents, that she has offered
her home in Malibu.
I think her home in New York,
or
because that'd be a tough commute for the kids in Harlem.
I will
They're all over the
register with the appropriate authorities so I can bring some of these children into my home and foster them during this time of need. Afterwards, I will help ensure that they get the help they need to fight their cases, stay and win. I'm sure this is something many Americans, other Americans, would consider as a moral and patriotic duty as well. Well, great. There's
Has she filled out the paperwork and had the interview process to be a foster mom? It's not that easy.
I haven't had the chance to follow up with her on this. But
does she have a man, a husband in her life? I mean, is it?
But she's looking at about making space for about 350 migrant children at this point if she's going to keep it local. But no, hey, at least she's doing something in furtherance with who she says she is and what she says she believes. At least she ostensibly is. And this is why I hope that the Ivy League and Champaign socialists all over the place, including up here in Chicago's North Shore, that would applaud her, that take the same position she does, that take the same antagonism that she does against the Trump administration, the enforcement of law, border security. I would hope that they would go ahead and be the change like Alyssa Milano is. So she's the only one so far that I've found this week to be saying or doing anything different that is of a substantive nature.
Just got a text message saying, yes, the left should open up their homes to all of these people, all these children.
And again,
I mean, they
college
are opening
campuses.
Up, yeah, and
college campuses, the perfect place to
especially too during the summertime when some of the college campuses, the sororities, fraternities are closed down. They can house people there. I mean, if these lefty liberals have such a loving heart, open up your doors.
Well, here's what those in public policy positions had to say. Paul Ryan at his presser yesterday talking about this ridiculous choice that the president is presented with at this point, and thus the need for congressional action, including a congressional family separation fix.
The law should not have our government choose between enforcing our borders, enforcing our laws, securing our borders, and keeping families together. That's ridiculous. It's a ridiculous choice. Tomorrow, we're going to have a vote on legislation that makes sure that we can enforce our laws and keep families together.
All right, so that's his rhetorical position. We haven't seen anything advanced, successfully advanced to this point in furtherance of that. Now, on the other side, you had Nancy Pelosi, who was asked about border security, border wall in particular.
Uh-oh. Did you know what that is?
Remember the whole kumbaya bipartisan roundtable meeting they had with President Trump?
Oh, yeah.
Where people like Steny Hoyer were adamant that they're for border security. Right? We have to, move in the direction of perhaps reforming some of the criteria that we use to make decisions on who can come in and on what timeline. But hey, make no mistake about it. The Democrats are serious about border security, about ejecting violent criminals who are here illegally. Very serious about that.
Would it be better to build a wall at the border?
No, it would not be better to build a wall. A wall is ineffective, expensive, immoral, and where there might be some places where it's useful from a security and a mutually agreed upon protection for each side to have some structure. Let's see what that is. But it's not better to build a wall. What's better to do is to build a bridge.
Build a bridge.
All right. Who supports funding for building a bridge on the border? 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line. This way you don't have to swim over.
Oh, that's right. You can
You
just
don't have
walk across the bridge.
Yeah. Let's make it nice and orderly. No wall, no border security, just a bridge. It's not 3 strikes and you're out. It's 4 balls and you're on. To invoke a great Jesse Jackson senior-ism.
4 balls and you're out.
Hey, ask him. I have no idea what he's talking
the only progress that was made from yesterday to today to this morning is of the 2,300 children who have been separated from their parents. 500 have so far been reunited and taken back.
No, it's great. We actually
it's a start.
It's fantastic. We have audio of one of those reunions, but then a bit of a goodbye when.
Is this gonna make me cry?
Well, when there's an alien separation, it's difficult.
I'll be right here.
First time I bawled in a movie.
So, I mean, in a sense, there is no separation because it's here. You're united here. Okay, and also the other issue of du jour with respect to immigration this week, of course, is who can be more morally indignant, who can be more outraged with respect to this policy, and most notably with respect to this president. And so it was fun to see Senator Tammy Baldwin. She's just north of the Cheese Curtain here. Yeah, she's in Wisconsin. She's facing a re-election fight that I'm certainly rooting for her to lose. And to her credit, you might want to mark this down, time code this, because this is not something you're going to hear me say very often because it's not warranted.
What?
To her credit, Brooke Baldwin on CNN.
Oh, who cried yesterday too, by the way.
Well, she was able.
She got teary-eyed, and
she was able to dry
herself.
She was able to compose herself and dry her tears long enough to put it to Tammy Baldwin. What about when this was happening? You know, with the previous guy.
They should have done more, right? And so as so many people in this country are certainly outraged by the cages and the thermal blankets and the facilities housing these kids, you know, they were all there in 2014 under President Obama. And my question to you, Senator Baldwin, is did you speak up against them then?
You know, on this issue that we get into a moment where we're making progress, and then when it stalls, we turn around. I think we all need to continue to be focused on it and press it through. The American people need confidence that we can solve problems. Nobody believes that we have an immigration system that works. It is broken, it needs fixing, but we've just got to resolve to do that.
But were you worried about it then? Did you raise your voice under the Obama administration?
You know, in numbers of cases, usually I remember a constituent who was in detention at the border, arguably very inappropriately, and we raised our voice in that instance and many others. But that's we've got to do this now in unison. It's not enough to do it case by case, or senator or house member by house member. We've got to resolve to fix this issue.
What in God's name is that woman talking about?
That is a convoluted way of trying to walk around the fact that, no, of course she didn't express outrage when the same policy was occurring under the Obama administration. And yes, she was surprised by the question. And yes, she was trying to bail water. And no, she's not quick on her feet. And yes, she should be de-elected.
Exactly. President Trump, though, defended. He had a quick White House briefing, or they let him into the conference room, and he talked about zero tolerance.
If we took zero tolerance away, you would be overrun you'd have millions of people pouring through our border.
And listen,
they walk through Mexico like it's walking through Central Park.
Because he blamed Mexico for not doing enough.
They don't care about the children. They don't care about the injury. They don't care about the problems. They don't care about anything.
Yeah, well, there is some truth to what he's saying with respect to, say, unaccompanied minors, 17 years or younger, that so many people have newfound concern over. Fiscal year 2017, the federal government puts the number at 41,456 unaccompanied minors, 17 or younger, who crossed the border into this country. So,
or are they going to set up shop and then eventually bring mom and dad over? Or they just wanted to?
Well, I'm less interested.
Runaways?
I'm less interested in what they want to do. What I'm interested in is all the people with the hand wringing and the preening and the crocodile tears. What do you got to say? What do you want to do? You agree with Pelosi? You agree with President Trump and Speaker Ryan about the need for a third option for the President of the United States? You know, spare me the pantomiming, the bleeding, and tell me what you want to do.
312-642-5600 is our turnkey.pro answer line. 64636. Type in DA, then a quick comment.
Because there's a recognition that this week has provided optics problems. Even Jeff Sessions, who sat down to be interviewed by David Brody on the Christian Broadcasting Network, conceded that.
The media narrative out there has been that the Trump administration caving to pressure, that these optics have not been good for the administration. What's the response to that?
Well, it hasn't been good. And the American people don't like the idea that we're separating families. We never really intended to do that. What we intended to do was to make sure that adults who bring children into the country are charged with the crime they've committed, instead of giving that special group of adults immunity from prosecution, which is what, in effect, we were doing. So I think it's the right thing. We'll work our way through it and try to do it in the most compassionate way possible.
If Republicans can not completely come apart at the seam on Capitol Hill, there's a real opportunity here, and even the left understands it. Some on the left do. A piece in The Atlantic about the lesson Democrats have yet to learn on immigration, and remember, they're rooting for the Democrats. The vast majority of Americans oppose Trump's policy with respect to this family separation that has been ongoing. Not that it's Trump's policy, the policy inherited, but nevertheless, this is their rhetoric. But it doesn't mean that they're willing to hand over control of the border to Democrats. The problem is, as strange as it might seem to immigration progressives, many Americans, enough to swing elections, might regard Democrats as just as extreme as Trump. And he goes through the level of support there is for the sort of 4 pillars of immigration reform when it comes to the system writ large that Trump has proposed. So the open borders Democrats that Trump has been pillaring since his rally in Duluth this week, there's a that's a good political position to take. That doesn't mean that Republicans are absolved of their dimwittery and their cowardice on this issue. But in terms of kind of the binary that you have of Republican leadership or Democrat leadership, Republican congressional candidates, Democrat congressional candidates, they might not like what they've seen. The American people might not like what they've seen on TV this week and the flames that have been fanned by the press. But they're not signing up for the open borders team either.
No, and President Trump just tweeted, Republicans should stop wasting their time on immigration until after we elect more senators and congressmen and women in November. Dems are just playing games. They have no intention of doing anything to solve this decades-old problem. We can pass great legislation after the red wave! Exclamation point. Good point.
It's a good little piece of jiu-jitsu by Trump, staying on offense. I agree with that. George in Elk Grove Village. George.
What is he listening
Hello.
to?
George, yes, please.
Tune
come
in.
back to this universe, yes.
Hello.
Yeah, George, it's Dan and Amy. You called us. You're on now.
Oh, I did. I was just listening on my phone here.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, I had a comment on the bridge. I think you should just build a big U-turn bridge where the entrance and the exit are both in Mexico.
Okay. All right. Thanks for
See
the
in the
call,
sky
George.
deck there?
We are used to building bridges to nowhere in this country.
The stories you need to know to start your day. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Yeah. Oh, when is the rain going to end? Well, we have an answer for that because we are Chicago's Morning Answer. We have to get through today. Occasional rain and drizzle throughout the day. 63. And then tonight, some rain and drizzle in the evening. Otherwise, clouds, a low of 60. And then tomorrow, mostly cloudy, a little bit warmer, a high of 75. And Sunday looks spectacular. Clouds and sun, a high of 80 degrees. Let's get into the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here is Jim Telemonte. Any standing water on the roadways?
Oh, there is. Got closures. It is heavy to the south, and that's where most of the water has been. Richton Park, Governor's Highway is closed. Sauk Trail to 216th Street and Western Avenue is blocked off. With Sauk Trail and Boney Road due to flooding. Up on Eisenhower, a solid mess due to a crash. Wolf Road, jackknife semi, rollover SUV. It's an hour and 3 minutes downtown to 390. Backup starts around Harlem. Inbound 46 minutes, 390 to downtown. Edens 21 minutes, Lake Hook to the junction. Kennedy 28 minutes, O'Hare to downtown. Outbound 24, Stevenson 55 minutes, 355 to the drive. Bryan 38 minutes, 95th to downtown. Bishop Ford 40, 8094 to merge. Traffic Service of Discover Student Loans, figuring out how to cover college costs. Discover Student Loans, one of the top private student loan lenders in the country with great rates, zero fees, plus students can earn a cash reward for their good grades. Visit discoverstudentloans.com to apply today. Limitations apply. Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
Pain drugs are addictive and have side effects. Get off the drugs and get rid of the pain. You don't need to live with chronic pain. Let's repeat that. You do not have to live in pain. Chronic pain is the worst from an accident or pain that just develops. Dr. Ken Candido is one of the most respected and successful pain doctors in the world. Dr. Candido will work to find the source of your chronic pain and fix it. He teaches pain management around the world and has been voted one of Chicago's best pain doctors several times. Okay, you get it. He is the pain doctor you need. Dr. Candido of Chicago Anesthesia and Pain Specialists will help you get off the pain medication and all of its side effects. You can get your life back. Drugs mask the pain. Find the source and fix it. Call Dr. Ken Candido and make an appointment with a cutting-edge, respected, and successful pain physician. Go to mypainchicago.com. That's mypainchicago.com. Thousands have been helped with their chronic pain. You may be the next one. Get the phone number and all the info at mypainchicago.com.
Nowadays, there's an app for everything, and here's one that's a must-have if you golf. It's the Bolingbrook Golf Club mobile app, and it'll enhance your golf experience. You can book tee times at Bolingbrook Golf Club. There's an interactive scorecard, golf games, a GPS, latest news from the club, even a food and beverage menu, Facebook sharing, and more. Just about everything you need for your golf game besides the clubs is in the palm of your hand with the new Bolingbrook Golf Club mobile app. Go to bolingbrookgolfclub.com/contact/download our app. bolingbrookgolfclub.com/contact/download our app. And download today.
Are you ready to take your golf game to the elite level? The Bolingbrook Elite Athlete Training Program, or BEAT, is the highest level of training designed to maximize potential and develop highly skilled players. You'll learn from the Bolingbrook Golf Club's world-class instructors. They've designed practice schedules and content to maximize player development. For the athlete that aspires to compete and train at the highest levels, check out BEAT, Bolingbrook Elite Athlete Training. More info at bolingbrookgolfclub.com.
Hey, I had a great night's sleep last night. My alarm was set, got up on time, felt fantastic because of my pillow and that mattress topper, which helps support your body, the temperature of your body. It helps relieve pressure points, and you wake up feeling refreshed. And right now in the month of June, if you get a mattress topper, you'll save 30% plus, get this. When you buy that mattress topper at a discount, you'll also get 2 free standard MyPillows. It's an unbelievable offer. 2 standard MyPillows free, plus 30% off that mattress topper. Or get 1 low price on 2 MyPillows and receive free shipping. I'm going to order 2 king-size pillows today. And when I go to MyPillow.com, guess what promo code I'm going to use? Oh, yeah, I'm going to use Amy, A-M-Y. Then I'll get that free shipping. There's a 10-year warranty on pillows, everything you buy, that mattress topper, and a 60-day money-back guarantee. So go online or call now for these great deals. If you have a pet, there's 30% off those pet beds, which you could just throw in the washer and dryer. Those sheets are amazing. It's like silk. Love them. So go to MyPillow.com, promo code Amy, or call 800-489-0201. That's 800-489-0201, and tell them Amy sent you.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies in a capsule. Thousands of doctors, health specialists, and professionals recommend Balance of Nature as a way of improving their health. Listen to a few unsolicited success stories from doctors that not only recommend it, but use Balance of Nature as well.
In my practice, I was getting to the point where I couldn't have the strength to see that many patients anymore. I was diagnosed with sarcoidosis. It really affected my breathing and the strength that I had. And I was introduced to the fruits and veggies. Just slowly, my strength started to come back. And it was because of the good nutrition. I can't say enough good for Balance of Nature and what it's done for me. I recommend it to everybody.
When you call, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 35% off your first month's order and ship it to you free. Call 800-2468-751. That's 1-800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
Your local 1-hour heating and air conditioning knows how miserable it feels when your AC goes out. You want it fixed fast, fixed right, and get a fast quote. Unlike some companies, we don't give you a quote until we actually see what the problem is. Then we'll give you our straightforward price and always stand by our work. Right now, get savings on any AC repair. Call 855-1-HOUR.
Your comfort is just a call away. Call 1 hour.
Terms and conditions may apply. Call for details. Independently owned and operated. Licensed in the respective state or county.
Deb, I'm so done with today. Traffic was awful. I couldn't stop for coffee. I have conference calls all morning, plus all these reports to go through. And look, it's 75 and sunny, and I'm stuck in here.
Relax. It's going to be an awesome day. Corporate is throwing a picnic in the parking lot for lunch, and they ordered Tasty Catering.
What? Did I miss the memo?
Apparently. It's going to be great. They got burgers, grilled chicken, sides, the works. You know, Tasty Catering's picnic food is excellent.
Oh, yeah, I know. We had them for our holiday party.
Today, they're bringing out the Make Your Own Burger Creation Station. They have everything you can think of, like sriracha, blue cheese crumbles, bacon, sautéed mushrooms, and caramelized onions. And they serve it straight off the grill, the way a great burger should be.
Okay, maybe there's still hope for today. I just hope I don't spill mustard on this new tie. Good thing I've got my bib.
You have a bib?
You don't?
Tasty Catering's picnic menu has all the delicious summertime food favorites you crave and more. Go to tastycatering.com to peruse mouth-watering picnic menus and start planning your picnic today. tastycatering.com.
AM 560, The Answer.
Dan and Amy talking about immigration and this week's drama and melodrama. Mike on the South Side, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Hi. What I think we should do is have a tax and tariff on all aliens that come in through Mexico from South America, and if they cross illegally, all that's doubled, and it's payable by Mexico. And if we're going to build the bridge, we'll build half of it after we put up the wall.
A bridge to a wall. There you go. All right. Thanks for the call, Mike. Speaking of this whole topic, Erin Melania going down to McAllen, Texas yesterday, and the controversy over that coat. Did you see Bulls' first pick overall?
Wendell Carter Jr.?
First round draft pick, yeah.
From Duke. Yeah, he was wearing a Black Panther-inspired ensemble that he and his mom and dad decided to all...
Well, it was a Gucci scarf.
It was a Gucci scarf, but then she had that, and then his dad had his suit coat. He had the Gucci scarf sewn into the jacket. The mom had the Gucci scarf sewn into her dress.
What kind of statement were they making about immigration?
I don't know.
With that scarf, do you think?
Printed tiger? I don't know. They're promoting the Black Panther movie and what it meant to be a black superhero.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that he thinks highly of himself?
Do you think...
I was just wondering, because I'm watching the video that his family produced about his greatness.
Well, I'm wondering who actually had the most serious fashion emergency yesterday. Was it Wendell Carter Jr. or Melania?
I think Trae Young had the worst fashion emergency of the night. Much worse than both of those two. Wendell looked good. Wendell looked very good. Did you see Trae Young?
Trae Young is the best shooter in the draft. So he
Trae Young wore shorts to the draft last night.
Well, that's because LeBron James started that.
Trae Young wore shorts to the draft last night.
That's LeBron's fault. That is LeBron's fault.
That is LeBron's fault.
He should have got drafted by the Bulls. Actually, the Bulls with Wendell Carter Jr. and Chandler Hutchison from Boise State had a good first round.
They did.
That was a good draft.
All right.
All right.
You're saying something positive about the Bulls. Wow.
Fred Hoiberg may not have to suit up this year.
Exactly.
The mayor.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Is it time to pull the plug on the Mueller investigation? We're going to ask former federal prosecutor and NRO contributing editor Andy McCarthy at 6:36.
And who wants to watch Roseanne or spinoff of Roseanne without Roseanne? But first, let's go into the newsroom. Here is Mike Scott.
Heavy rains causing serious problems across Chicagoland this morning. 63 degrees. And rain showers continue, and that means yesterday's showers and this morning's rain are leading to flooding and standing water on roadways throughout the area. More rain expected to fall later this day. A flash flood watch is in effect until 10 a.m. But it's nothing like the rain that's falling on McAllen, Texas over the last few days. 16 inches of rain has fallen there. House Republicans plan to vote on a compromise immigration bill later next week. A more hardline bill failed on a vote of 193 to 231 yesterday. More than 40 Republicans joined Democrats in voting no. Vote on the compromise bill was originally scheduled yesterday. That was postponed. First Lady Melania Trump visiting some border facilities where immigrant children are being held in Texas.
I'm here to learn about your facility, and which I know you house children on a long-term basis.
Back in Washington, GOP House Speaker Paul Ryan is pleased with the president's reversal of a policy separating children of illegal immigrants from their families.
We want to keep families intact and enforce our laws, and secure our border. That is what the vast majority of Americans want to have happen.
A surprising federal appeals court ruling ordering new sentences for the Beltway sniper Lee Boyd Malvo. Larry Myers is the brother of sniper victim Dean Meyer and says most of the families approve.
That's just a young life rotting away in jail. Personally, I would be in favor of a sentence of no more than 5 more years in prison.
In 2002, you may recall, then 17-year-old Malvo, along with John Allen Muhammad, killed 10 in shootings across D.C., Maryland, and Virginia. An appeals court threw out 4 of Malvo's life sentences but did not touch 6 others. A Kentucky man this morning doing time in Ohio now claims they have beaten to death a serial killer in prison. Lexington's NBC affiliate says James Elliott sent out a letter a few days ago. In that letter, he said he killed Donald Harvey in his cell in the Toledo Correctional Institution. Now, you may recall the name Donald Harvey. He was known as the Angel of Death. He killed dozens working as a nurse in hospitals in Ohio and Kentucky in the 70s and 1980s. He died in March of 2017. 3 Central Illinois men accused of bombing a Minnesota mosque are now being charged with federal hate crimes. A Cook County judge says he'll rule later today on whether to release on bond a man convicted in the 1982 deaths of 2 Chicago police officers. And the village of Skokie is taking on Evanston. It is a civil battle over water rate increases. Cubs fall to Cincinnati 6-2. Sox and A's rained out. They'll try to make it up with a doubleheader later today. Bulls took Duke center Wendell Carter Jr. with the 7th pick overall in the NBA draft. The news service of Discover Student Loans, figuring out how to cover college costs. Discover Student Loans is one of the top private student loan lenders in the country with great rates, 0 fees. Plus, students can earn a cash reward for their good grades. Visit discoverstudentloans.com to apply today. Limitations apply. 6:35, a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
The Dennis Prager Show.
Criticizing some of the liberal media's coverage of the U.S. North Korea summit on denuclearization, President Donald Trump said America's biggest enemy is fake news, which is so easily promulgated by fools. It's 100% accurate. America's greatest enemy is fake news. That's right.
The Dennis Prager Show. Weekdays at 11, right before Sean Hannity at 2 on AM 560. The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Papa Nicholas Coffee. Papa Nicholas Coffee. Roasted fresh daily in Batavia, Illinois.
Hey guys, Ken here from the Business Accelerator podcast, Today's Growth. If you had to choose a vehicle to take you up the rocky side of a mountain, would you choose a Ferrari or a Jeep? The Ferrari's faster, cooler, maybe even sexier, but if you have to get to the top, the Jeep's a better bet. I think we can agree getting to the top is not about the driver, it's the vehicle. Have you noticed people often pick their financial vehicle like they pick their cars? Washington Post shared that only 1 out of 4 people choose a job that uses their college degree. Why? Simple. Something more immediate, maybe cooler, maybe even sexier came along first. Shouldn't the main deciding factors for revenue generation be production or output? Should the cool factor have any weight in choosing someone's income? If getting to the top of the financial mountain is mission critical for you, why not add a few Jeeps to your garage? Could your household or business use an additional revenue model that makes it to the top every time? If so, you have to see the Jeeps lined up at IncomeStore.com. That's IncomeStore.com.
6:36. Let's get an update on the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim.
Thanks, Mike. We have an update on the flooding in Park Forest. Sauk Trail is closed between Western Avenue and Ashland due to the high water. We're told that Western is open now in that area. Proceed with caution. Bridgeton Park, Governor's Highway is flooded. Sauk Trail and 216th. Eden's inbound delay started at 2:08, 23 minutes. Lake Cook to Montrose, outbound 21. Kennedy, 36 minutes. O'Hare to downtown, outbound 28. The Eisenhower is 50 minutes, 390 to downtown. But outbound, it is an hour and 15 minutes to 390. Got a major collision at Wolf Road, just cleared out of the 3 left lanes moments ago. Involved a dump truck and an SUV, but that's been quickly moved. Stevenson, 55 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Outbound 38. Try in 40 minutes, 95th to downtown. That was a crash reported at Roosevelt. Westbound Tri-State heavy 8094 to Chicago Road with a crash in the left lane. Traffic service of Napa. This month at participating Napa Auto Parts stores, Avalanche AC recharge kits are on sale for just $39.99 plus a $15 prepaid Visa card by mail. Quality parts, helpful people. That's Napa know-how. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center. A cool day ahead, rain and drizzle, high 63. Rain and drizzle this evening, otherwise plenty of clouds, low 60. 75 tomorrow. Sunday will be a pleasant day, sunshine and a high near 80. Currently 62. Your next news update is at 7. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by The Lou Bridges Show. Tune in on Saturday mornings at 8 to learn how you might fight foreclosure and keep your home.
If you're talking about it, I'll be talking about it. Dennis Prager here. Join me this morning at 11, right here on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. Hey, it's impeachment day. It's impeachment day. Isn't it? Isn't that what Devin Nunes sort of intimated and Trey Gowdy sort of echoed? Hey, if you, Rod Rosenstein, you dudes, and you, Christopher Wray, you were at that meeting last Friday. You heard what Speaker Ryan said. You don't produce those documents, then you don't got no job.
Oh, that's right.
So today's the day, the deadline, according to what the House Intel and House Oversight Chairman have said during the week. And actually, Nunes said they better start producing documents by midweek or we're going to have a problem. I suppose this immigration dust-up has derailed that, at least from leading the news. But we are on the clock, according to House Republicans. We've been talking about the Inspector General's report all week, as well as this meeting that happened last Friday, as I just described. We continue to get more information. Christopher Steele, key of the Steele dossier, according to State Department logs, visited the State Department to brief officials on the dossier in October of 2016. That's according to information obtained by the chairman of the Senate Select Committee on Intelligence, Richard Burr. He also revealed Steele's visit revealed this visit during an exchange with Victoria Nuland, who served as Assistant Secretary of State for Europe and Eurasian Affairs in the Obama administration. And it just, the drip. The same thing happened when Horowitz, the Inspector General, was before the House, and Jim Jordan was asking him about the Strzok email, sort of the Strzok smoking gun email, if you will. No matter how you wanted to interpret it, it was new information, text messages, text message, that, we're going to stop him.
Right.
Well, if you referred that to Rod Rosenstein a month ago, why did Congress only get it last week, was Jim Jordan's question to Horowitz. Not, again, exactly inspiring trust between the legislative branch and the Department of Justice. So we poured over the details, but what do I know? I didn't even sit for the bar. Let's get the opinion of an expert who's been covering this as closely as anyone in the country. He's former federal prosecutor and a contributing editor to National Review, Andy McCarthy. Andy, thanks for joining us again. Appreciate it.
Dan, it's my pleasure. Going to law school only screws up your brain. So
I did go to law school.
Yeah, he did go. He just didn't
did you?
I just
all
didn't.
right, so that explains a lot then.
It really does.
Do you regret you didn't see it through?
I
Go
did.
all the way?
Well, I did. I finished law school. I just didn't sit for the bar because I didn't want to be tempted into the practice of law. I wasn't strong enough to resist, so I just knocked myself out of the box,
right.
I think.
Well, my mom made me hang in because she said I needed to know how the enemy thinks.
There you go. There you go. It is actually a great education and training. But I digress. So you have suggested that based on this Horowitz Inspector General report that we've been talking about the last week, it's time to button up the Mueller obstruction investigation and call it a day.
Yeah, well, I don't see how the Justice Department can continue with it, at least as a criminal investigation, if the position that they're taking, and it's clear that they have accepted and endorsed Horowitz's report, the IG's theory here is that even though there was rampant evidence of bias, he not only can't make a conclusion that any particular action was driven by bias, but what he says is that because the FBI has very broad investigative discretion, they have broad authority to make decisions in the areas like what investigative techniques to use and whether people should be charged or not. What he says is that if there are two competing potential interpretations of why they did what they did, and one of them is a potentially corrupt interpretation, and the other one is a legitimate interpretation because the action can arguably be supported by legitimate government policies, then he has to assume that it was done for legitimate purposes. So if that's their view of the world, I don't see how you investigate Trump for firing the FBI director or weighing in on Mike Flynn's potential investigation by the FBI, since those are clearly things that the president, in his constitutional prerogative, is permitted to do. In fact, the president has much broader discretion than the FBI does. The FBI is a creature of statute, and a lot of its activities are controlled by statute and limited by statute. The president has broad constitutional authority, and the evidence that the president had corrupt motives in the actions that he took is minimal compared to the evidence of rampant bias at the FBI. So I just don't see how you continue the obstruction investigation.
Well, we've learned through these hearings, that McCabe lied under oath. Comey gave some what might be classified or unclassified information to one of his former professors. Do you trust the Inspector General, Michael Horowitz?
Do I trust him?
Yes. Do you
well,
think
I certainly
he's a
trust
decent
him
human being?
Well, yeah, I do. I mean, I know him from the U.S. Attorney's Office. I overlapped with him for a number of years. He's a straight shooter. He's a very good prosecutor. I think this report demonstrates that he had a lot of attention to detail in unearthing a lot of facts that we didn't know before. Mm-hmm. Where I part company with him, the fact that I trust him doesn't mean I agree with him on everything. And where I part company with him is he has a very small target or a very limited idea of what his role is here. So what he says basically is if people are acting in a way that is arguably consistent with government policies, I can't make a conclusion that anybody was driven by bias, even though there's pervasive evidence of bias. And I think, your common sense, to go back to what Dan was saying earlier about, lawyers and non-lawyers, take your lawyer hat off for a second and just have your person hat on. If they show that an institution has pervasive bias and then they take actions in a way that's completely consistent with the bias, common sense says that you can conclude that bias factored into the decision-making. Doesn't mean it was the only factor, but to say that it was not relevant. I mean, can you imagine if you had a jury? Let's put the FBI aside. A guy gets convicted in a jury trial, and we find out later that the jurors had the same kind of attitudes about the person who was accused as the FBI had with respect to Trump. I think that 10 out of 10 people would say that wasn't a fair trial.
So let me ask you this, though, where Horowitz did come down and make explicit he believes Andy McCabe, former deputy FBI director, lied under oath. That's a problem. Yeah. He also suggested that Jim Comey's actions with respect to classified information are under investigation. At what point, if you're President Trump, do you intervene with respect to Rod Rosenstein if, as you suggest, he allows Mueller to continue his fishing expedition unencumbered? And number two, he ignores criminal referrals from the Inspector General's report with respect to senior level officials at FBI, for example?
Well, let's take the second one first because I think that's the easy one. So far, as I understand it, the Justice Department has not ignored any referrals from the IG. That doesn't mean you'll see immediate action on them, but I don't think they're ignoring them. On the flip side of that, I think much too much is being made of the fact that they've opened an investigation on Jim Comey. Now, it may very well be that they're going to conduct this investigation. He certainly has a problem because there's classified information in these memos that he caused the leaking of. So that's clearly something that's going to be looked into. At the same time, I think what people need to realize is that the Congress referred this to the Justice Department for prosecution, and the Justice Department gave it to the IG. They didn't give it to a federal prosecutor. They gave it to the Inspector General, who's not in a position to prosecute. So the Inspector General will run it down and develop the facts. But I think if they thought there was smoking gun criminal liability here, this is not how they would have referred it. It would have gone to a U.S. Attorney's Office rather than the IG. So I think we just need to take a deep breath and see how that plays itself out. As far as concerns, Rosenstein at the Justice Department and the FBI's intransigence with respect to requests by the Congress, I think that the elephant in the room here is that President Trump has the complete authority to direct Rosenstein and Wray to cooperate with Congress. And I, for the life of me, continue, other than to see a political dimension to this, I cannot understand why the Republicans in the House who have been agitating over this, and I support them in their agitation because I think this has to get to the bottom. We have to get to the bottom of this. But they're making this like this is a Rosenstein and Wray problem. And the fact of the matter is, if the Democrats were in power and we had a similar situation, they would be saying, where's the president? It's the president's obligation. The president runs the executive branch. Why isn't the president pressuring or ordering his subordinates to cooperate with a congressional investigation? And I think it's a pertinent question.
And maybe, obviously there are political calculations in every direction here. Maybe he thinks like he's winning. He doesn't want to change anything. And you've got more Inspector General reports that are forthcoming from Horowitz, including on the start of the Trump investigation, this now Comey investigation, whether there's something there or not. It is a cloud that overhangs the whole investigation and serves to further damage its credibility. So we'll just do another couple of years of Horowitz putting together these devastating reports. We'll do the politics of it. And if you want to continue on, you continue on, and I'm going to do my other business.
Yeah, well, call me old-fashioned, but I think that if we have a problem in an institution which is as important to the country in terms of the rule of law and our national prosperity as the FBI and the Justice Department are, then finding out what happened here is more important than anybody's political calculation about whether they're winning on it or not. And if you decide to elevate the politics of it over the policy of it, then I think people like me start to say, well, maybe this isn't so important anyway.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I agree with that. You think not only should Trump provide that direction you've described, also his powers to declassify information, make it publicly available, which you've written about. But what about actually getting more actively and very publicly involved after Jim Jordan's recitation of what's happened to the senior leadership of the FBI over the last year, which is rather incredible to the context he put it, all these 6 people that are been demoted, dismissed, and discredited. Trump getting and saying, hey, Christopher Wray, Jeff Sessions, Rod Rosenstein, I'm going to get involved, and we're going to clean up and rebuild the credibility of these institutions, or I'm going to get some buddies who will.
Yeah, I'm about 90% of the way there. My sympathy for the president in this regard is that he has such a thin margin in the Senate that, for all the people who say, well, why doesn't he just fire Rosenstein, or why doesn't he just fire Sessions. Well, who replaces them? If you think about where we are at the Justice Department, we're going in the wrong direction. I mean, if you remember about a year ago, maybe a little more than that, he had 4 big appointees at the Justice Department. He had Sessions, Rosenstein, Rachel Brand was there in the number 3 slot, and Francisco was there as the Solicitor General. Rachel Brand is gone, and they haven't replaced her. So, if you move out the very few Trump appointees that are in the Justice Department, who's going to run the Justice Department? For all the people who complain about the Obama carryover people, that's who's going to be running the Justice Department. Who do you think advised Sessions that he had to recuse himself at the time when Sessions was the only Trump appointee at the Justice Department? It was the Obama people. So, it's easy to say these people need to be swept out because they're not doing a great job, but Trump has to then deal with, what comes after them. And right now, he may think that having Rosenstein there is better than the alternative.
He is Andy McCarthy, former Chief Assistant U.S. Attorney in Manhattan, contributing editor to National Review, one of the definitive voices on all things Russian collusion investigation related. Andy, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Thanks. Have a great weekend.
You too.
And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
Connect with Dan and Amy using the AM 560 mobile app. Download it today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
I'm Lou Dobbs. OPEC ministers meeting today. A Nigerian immigrant headed to prison in an IRS refund scam. Those stories next.
Attention American patriots. If you want to boost your stock market returns by tens of thousands of dollars to levels most people will never achieve, you're going to love a new investment research service called Profits Unlimited. A small group of everyday Americans have begun using Profits Unlimited, and they're absolutely loving it. Peter Jacobs from Easton, Maryland says his stock account is already up well over $100,000. Mark Hogan from Fort Collins, Colorado has made $191,000, and Jeff and Valerie Brown, a retired couple from upstate New York, pocketed over $1.6 million thanks to Profits Unlimited. We've heard from thousands of folks all across America telling us how Profits Unlimited has helped them make a fortune and forever change their lives. Now it's your turn. To get all the details, just go to ProfitsUnlimited.com. Don't wait. Go to ProfitsUnlimited.com while there is still time.
Ministers from major oil-producing nations meeting today, expected to boost production, although no indication by how much. Saudi Arabia, the cartel's largest producer, wants increases, but President Trump has been lobbying the Saudis to lower oil prices. A Nigerian immigrant linked to 10,000 fraudulent tax returns worth more than $91 million going to prison. Oregon resident Emmanuel Kazim sentenced to 15 years in federal prison for tax fraud and identity theft. Starbucks, which has had its share of bad publicity, now says it will close 150 stores in densely populated markets because of lagging sales. Please join me for Lou Dobbs tonight, 7 and 11 Eastern on the Fox Business Network. This is the Lou Dobbs Financial Report.
The following is a paid announcement.
Now, Geiger Wealth brings you Grow My Retirement.
Thanks for joining us today, where once a week we get together to talk about retirement planning. Bill Geiger, how are you today? I've heard you say in the past where a 401k can be both a blessing and a curse. What do you mean by that?
You sign up for a 401k plan, the money comes out before taxes, you get employer matches, and you kind of forget about it. One day you look up, and there's a whole bunch of money there. That's the blessing part. The curse part, you're either at risk or you're not making anything whatsoever. You can roll the contents of your 401k plan into an IRA. In the IRA, you have so much more choice. Mike, I know you're going to talk about this in just a moment, but for the first 5 callers who call in with at least $500,000 in their portfolio, we're going to sit down with them personally on a complimentary basis and help them put together a full-blown plan for their retirement.
Bill, this is an incredible opportunity. Folks, nothing can be more frustrating than working hard your entire life, saving as much as possible for retirement, than having no idea how you're going to make your life savings last 20 to 30 years or more. Bill and his team at Geiger Wealth can help. They have a special offer for you today. They're going to sit down with you personally to create a full-blown plan for your retirement. Folks, this is up to a $3,000 value. It's complimentary for the next 5 callers who have at least $500,000 saved for retirement. Call 800-681-2498. That's 800-681-2498. Together with you, Bill and his team are going to translate the complex financial planning process into easy-to-understand steps with a roadmap to help you get to where you need to be. Call Geiger Wealth right now for your complimentary, personalized, full-blown retirement plan. 800-681-2498. That's 800-681-2498.
Geiger Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor. Insurance offered through DeBlanco Inc.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies in a capsule. Thousands of doctors, health specialists, and professionals recommend Balance of Nature as a way of improving their health. Listen to a few unsolicited success stories from doctors that not only recommend it, but use Balance of Nature as well.
I look at Balance of Nature and I look what it's doing for me as I've started taking it, and for the patients that I have that are taking it, it's been phenomenal watching the changes that have happened and how much healthier and how much more energy that they have. I haven't heard any negative feedback from any of my patients who have been taking the product. The thing that amazes me with it is that it's so simple.
When you call, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 35% off your first month's order and ship it to you free. Call 800-246-8751. That's 1-800-246-8751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
AM 560, The Answer.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
At 7:37, we'll talk to a mom of a 13-year-old who's being charged with felony eavesdropping for recording his principal. You got to hear this story.
Oh, my gosh. But first, let's go into the newsroom. Here is Mike Scott.
Heavy rains leading to some flooding in low-lying areas in Chicagoland and slow expressways. 4 teens wounded in a Southwest Side shooting. Governor Honor welcomes the online sales tax. Cubs succumb to the Reds. White Sox and A's wiped out because of the rain. And the Bulls take Carter Jr. with the 7th pick overall in the NBA draft. More rain on the way today. WIND Chicago News Time, 7 o'clock.
Some separated families reunited. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. A senior Trump administration official says 500 of the 2,300 kids separated from parents prosecuted for entering the U.S. illegally have been reunited since May. Those are protesters singing with adults circling kids wrapped in blankets as they rallied outside the U.S. Capitol. Inside, a conservative attempt at immigration reform failed when about 40 Republicans joined Democrats opposing it. Then what's called a compromise version was delayed.
First, so rank-and-file Republicans could get questions answered. After that session, the decision was made by GOP leaders to hold off on a vote until next week.
This will give us time, I think, to work out our differences. We have a lot of different factions in our conference.
But House Homeland Security Committee Chairman Michael McCaul is still optimistic Republicans will find the votes.
That's Fox's Jared Halpern. President Trump's reacted to Congress's attempt. Fox's John Decker live at the White House.
Frustrated at the inability of Congress to pass an immigration bill, the president tweeting Republicans should stop wasting their time on immigration until after we elect more senators and members of Congress in November. He continued, Dems are just playing games, have no intention of doing anything to solve this decades-old problem. We can pass great legislation after the red wave, he wrote. Meanwhile, the so-called zero-tolerance policy at the border may be changing. The U.S. Attorney's Office is reportedly dismissing cases in which parents were charged with illegally entering or re-entering the country. Dave?
And John, the anger is growing in East Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Nearly 1,000 people protesting for a second day, shutting down traffic on a highway at one point because of the police shooting death of a 17-year-old who fled a traffic stop. The Allegheny County Police Commissioner says he's confident the car Antoine Rose was in was involved in an earlier shooting. 2 guns were found inside it. There's been flooding in several states. Helicopters had to rescue people stranded in Texas and in Montana. Fox News, fair and balanced.
63 degrees, some heavy rain showers crossing the area at 7:02 on AM 560. The Answer. Good morning. I'm Mike Scott. Heavy rain causing problems throughout Chicagoland. A flash flood watch is in effect until 10 a.m. A Cook County judge says he'll rule later today on whether to release on bond a man convicted in the 1982 deaths of 2 Chicago police officers, Richard O'Brien and William Fahey. Judge William Hooks tossed out Jackie Wilson's confession that he fatally shot the officers. Wilson is alleging former police commander John Burge and his subordinates tortured him into confessing. 4 teens wounded following a shooting on Chicago's southwest side. 3 18-year-olds and a 16-year-old were shot near 65th and Claremont. A 4th victim refused medical treatment. The father of Quintonio LeGrier denying statements made by the Chicago police officer who shot and killed his son in 2015. While testifying in the wrongful death lawsuit yesterday, Officer Robert Rialmo said Antonio LeGrier told him that he did what he needed to do after he shot the 19-year-old college student. The elder LeGrier testified that he believes he never said those words. The U.S. Supreme Court decision allowing states to levy sales taxes on online retailers could mean a revenue boost for the state. AM 560's David Stewart has the numbers.
Language already in the recently passed state budget extends the sales tax to out-of-state retailers that do at least $100,000 of business here. Governor Rauner says it will now be easier for the state to collect what it's owed.
It's already the obligation of folks who buy out of state to still pay a tax. Now it's just going to be easier to collect. We've anticipated this ruling. I think it's the right decision. We need a level playing field. It's not fair to local retailers where tax has to be paid, but you buy out of state and you don't pay a tax.
The additional sales tax could amount to $150 to $200 million in the next fiscal year. David Stewart, NBC News Radio, Chicago.
The Cubs lost to Cincinnati 6-2. White Sox and A's rained out at Guaranteed Rate Field. They'll try and make that up with a doubleheader later today. The Bulls take Wendell Carter Jr. with the 7th pick overall in the NBA draft and reload with the number 22 pick in the first round and take Boise State forward Chandler Hutchison. The news service of Napa with Napa Auto Care Centers. You get highly trained experts and a 24-month, 24,000-mile nationwide warranty with every visit, which means you can get your car fixed right the first time. Visit NapaAutoCare.com to find one of 16,000 Napa Auto Care centers near you. 7:04, a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
All money managers may seem pretty much the same. But while some money managers may recommend high-commission investment products, Fisher Investments avoids them. Some money managers may have hidden and layered fees. Fisher Investments never does. And while some money managers are happy to earn commissions from you, whether you do well or not, Fisher Investments fees are structured so we do better when you do better. In other words, we're structured to be on your side. Maybe that's why most of our clients come to us from other money managers. Talk with us and find out why so many experienced investors are switching to and staying with Fisher Investments. Fisher Investments, clearly better money management. Investments in securities involve the risk of loss. Visit us at FisherInvestments.com to find out what we can do for you.
This is Dan Proft with 60 Seconds of Sanity for Upstream-Ideas.com. Insubordination, indifference, intimidated by Hillary's lawyers, improper gifts, lack of impartiality. The IG's report makes Democrats' dreams of a Trump impeachment inconceivable. So complete is the Trump vindication that the left has regressed back to trying to figure out whether or not they're supposed to like Jim Comey. Trump should press his advantage here by consummating his anti-ruling class value proposition. The public doesn't want the FBI or DOJ to go away. They just don't want the senior leadership of those agencies to be conniving political operatives who believe themselves to be above the law. Both are headed by Trump appointees now. The president should make a very public play to take a very active role in working with Christopher Wray and Jeff Sessions, or replacing them if need be, to make the personnel and policy changes necessary for culture change and credibility restoration. Much of the positive disruption President Trump has brought to the Beltway has been through simply doing what he said he would do as candidate Trump. It confounds the men and women of always. Trump ran as a law and order candidate. The FBI and DOJ are instrumental institutions to the rule of law and public order in America. Trump would bedevil his critics once again if he chose this moment to be an institutional rebuilder.
We're Sound Income Strategies, and baby boomers who work with us know the secret to a great retirement is our middle name, Income. At Sound Income Strategies, we transform high-fee, high-taxed retirement spend-down schemes into sustained retirement income. And we can do the same for you. For your free, no-obligation income kit,
call 866-913-1234. That's 866-913-1234.
It's time to get off the Wall Street Street roller coaster. Stop the retirement spend-down schemes and join the income generation. For your free, no-obligation income kit,
Call 866-913-1234. That's 866-913-1234.
investment advisory services offered through Sound Income Strategies, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisory firm. Sound Income Strategies. The secret to a great retirement is our middle name.
Call 866-913-1234.
7:07 and a check of the roads this morning. Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim.
Thanks, Mike. The south suburb Sauk Trail is closed western to Ashland due to flooding. Governor's Highway also flooded at Sauk Trail. Eden's 23 minutes, Lake Cook to Montrose. Outbound 28. Kennedy, now 42 minutes, O'Hare to downtown. 19 from Montrose, 18 in the Express. Outbound 17 minutes to Montrose, 43 to O'Hare. Eisenhower, 55 minutes, 390 to downtown. 38 from Manheim. Outbound an hour and 5 minutes, 390 after a crash at Wolf and another near St. Charles. Stevenson, 58 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Outbound 44. Ryan, 40 minutes, 95 to downtown. Tri-State northbound heavy coming off of 8094 with delays starting at Calumet Avenue, continuing to Chicago Road after a crash. Then it's low 87th, 31st, and from the Reagan Tollway to the Grand Avenue curve. Northbound Veterans Memorial heavy, 75th, Reagan Tollway at Butterfield to 290. On I-80, we've got delays, Harlem to 183rd. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte, AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center with our meteorologist, Kevin Snyder.
Flash flood watch in effect for this morning. Cool day with occasional rain and drizzle. High 66, then occasional rain and drizzle for the evening. Otherwise, a cloudy night tonight with a low of 60. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560, The Answer.
Park Forest, this morning we feel your pain. 3.98 inches of rain in the last 24 hours. And there's, as Jim Talamonte has said, plenty of low-lying flooding and high-standing water in that town on the south side and south suburbs. 62 at O'Hare. Next news coming up at 7:30. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
Listen to AM 560 on your mobile device. Now available on iHeartRadio. Online at iHeartRadio.com.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. Who should replace Roseanne in the Connors spinoff of Roseanne? 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line. 64636DA, turnkey.pro text line. Who should replace Roseanne, who will not be part of that spinoff because ABC wants to make money, but they don't want to take heat, so they got to get rid of Roseanne. But can they make money if they don't have Roseanne?
Whoa. Yeah, they officially announced a spinoff for Roseanne. There's going to be 10 episodes of the show, and it's going to be called The Connors. That's what they're thinking it's going to be called. So
my suggestion,
yeah,
to replace Roseanne. Let's get it going.
All right, 312-642-5600. Creative juices going on this soggy Friday.
I have two thoughts.
Yes.
One, Valerie Jarrett, obviously.
No brainer. Yeah.
The other would be John Goodman in both roles.
Oh.
John Goodman could. I mean, he just looks like a bigger version of Roseanne.
Mm-hmm.
So he could easily play both roles.
The new take, which will also be a multi-camera comedy and premiere in the fall.
Are you a producer on the show or something?
Follow the Connor family who, after a sudden turn of events, are forced to face the daily struggles of life. I love Roseanne, the reboot of Roseanne. I actually watch the episodes over and over again.
Yeah, I know.
Because it's great.
Sad life.
But also, too, how are they going to kill her off? Because in the last few episodes of this first reboot season, she became addicted to prescription medicine. Because she has a bad knee, don't you know? And she's going to be going to have surgery. So the question is, does she die on the surgical table? Is she in rehab? I mean, what are they going to do with her character? Are they going to completely kill her off or just, because they have to address the elephant in the room.
Literally.
Where's mom?
She's
Stop it.
probably be beaten to death on a college campus by a bunch of social justice warriors.
Maybe her sister who wears a pea hat and then, the T-shirt. Maybe she'll get into a fist fight with her and get out the shank, kill her.
So they're
Possibly.
coming. The rest of the cast is coming back.
Mm-hmm.
And then all those jobs that everybody
Well-
was afraid were going to be lost forever. The key grips are going to be employed again.
Well, the cast and crew. I mean, there's 212 people who counted on that second season, and then now they will have a job.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Makeup artists, set designers, all of that.
48% of registered voters, according to Quinnipiac's survey, agreed with ABC's decision to cancel the show. 34% said they would like to see it remain on the air. Among those identified as Republicans, a little higher, 50% disagreed with the network's move. So it was a plurality of Americans who weighed in on this because we like to weigh in on celebrity nonsense rather than
But it was a
matters
show where it was
public
okay to be a Trump
policy.
supporter, and she had great dialogue and great exchanges with her sister, who is a flaming liberal, and I loved it because they actually, at the beginning, it was they were very confrontational. Then they learned how to joke around with each other politically, and it's I thought it was brilliant.
So it sounds very intellectually robust.
It's not intellectually robust. It's just very street, and it's very blue collar, and it's very much reflective of reality right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How do you think they're going to?
So who should replace her?
Who should replace Roseanne? Well, yeah, because obviously he's going to start dating again, so we're going to have to go through.
I don't think there's anything obvious
Paula
about
Poundstone.
John Goodman dating again. Paula Poundstone. Was she on the other one?
I think she made
before she kidnapped a kid.
Those charges were dropped.
Oh.
But this thing called 9/11 happened that day, so no one ever heard the rest of her story.
Okay. Don't want to go down that rabbit hole.
Who should replace Roseanne Barr? 312-642-5600.
Mark and Valpo.
Yeah, I think you should use Rosie O'Donnell or Michael Moore.
Michael Moore would be good. I would go with Michael Moore. Thanks for the call, Mark. I think Michael Moore would be a good replacement.
Michael Moore? Oh, yeah. That's good. Rosie O'Donnell's pretty good, too, because she's out of work, so.
Michael Moore's a better actress. Megan and Wilmette, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
He just stole my thunder. I was going to say Michael Moore. He looks just like her.
Yeah. Boy, I don't know how we missed that. Thanks for the call, Megan.
Oh.
Michael Moore. We got Michael Moore. We got Valerie Jarrett, who also bears a striking resemblance. And then John Goodman in both roles so far.
What
That's all
about
we
Christy Alley? She's kind of.
Where is she? Is she?
She's alive.
No, but where is
she on
in
the weight
terms of
scale?
Yeah, of course.
Because then you fat, skinny, fat. I think she's back up. She's not doing those commercials anymore.
What about Hillary?
Oh, no.
It wouldn't work?
No, I can't see her and John Goodman together. Because there are a lot of bed scenes on Roseanne when he puts on his CPAP thing.
Ooh.
For snoring.
All right, scrap that. Todd in Harvard, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
J.B. Pritzker.
J.B. Pritzker's a good call. Thanks for the call, Todd. J.B. Pritzker, yeah. And that would be the music that follows him around.
J.B. Pritzker.
He'd probably have a Family Guy trademark infringement suit. But could he? I guess, he just wants to wear the Mayor Quimby sash, Mayor
that's
Quimby
right.
governor sash, just like Ronner did. So I guess he could be governor and star in a sitcom. You're on Chicago's Morning Answer. You, anonymous. Yes.
Hi, this is Jerry.
Oh, hey, Jerry.
Lisa Lampanelli.
Oh, the Queen of Mean, yeah. Oh, thanks for the
Isn't
call.
she doing those diaper commercials now?
What?
Lisa Lampanelli.
Do you know who she is?
She's got the big lips, right?
What does she do?
She's an actress.
No.
Oh, then I don't know.
Correct, you don't.
Well, educate me.
She's a comedian.
Oh.
She's sort of a comedian, excuse me. She's a sort of a foul mouth. She's like Andrew Dice Clay, but in a, in a dress, sort of. Yeah, she's.
You know what?
She
They could bring Kathy Griffin in.
She works blue. No, I don't.
To be the new love interest.
No. You gotta have somebody that fills Roseanne's comfortable shoes. I don't know.
There's only one Roseanne. I mean, Rosie O'Donnell would be perfect.
No.
They even look the same. They look alike.
Michael Moore is Michael Moore, J.B. Pritzker, John Goodman, Valerie Jarrett. I would say that'd be the short list. We should have them all come in for a reading. Then we can make a recommendation to ABC.
It's news, opinion, insight. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
If they kill her off, I'm not watching the Connors. But if they keep hope alive that maybe she'll come back, I'll watch the Connors.
All right, you've been put on notice, ABC. Text from Alex P. Keaton. Roseanne should be replaced by Caitlyn Jenner. He's a little bit more feminine. He is. Let's see. Text from 312. Roseanne should be replaced by a shaved orangutan.
Oh.
All right.
Soon.
Yeah.
Way too soon.
Well, obviously Coco couldn't replace her because
Coco. I really miss Coco already.
George from Elk Grove. Gabri Sidibe? Who's that? I don't know.
Don't look to me.
Rick in Des Plaines, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Good morning. I got one for you guys.
Yeah.
How about Rob Reiner?
Meathead.
Oh.
All right. Thanks for the call, Rick.
I miss you, Rick. Forecast for today, it's just pretty miserable out there. 60 degrees right now, going up to a high of just 62 degrees.
I got a good one.
I got a good one. What is it?
Ken Bone. That's good.
Occasional rain and drizzle throughout the day tonight and this evening. A low tonight of 60. And then tomorrow, we're going to dry up. Thank goodness. Mostly cloudy, warmer, a high of 75. And for Sunday, pleasant with some sun and clouds, a high of 80 degrees. Let's get into the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here is Jim Telemonte.
Thanks, Amy. Thanks, Dan. 8094 westbound. We got delays from Kennedy Avenue across the state line up the northbound tri-state to Chicago Road, where there was an earlier crash. The northbound 294 has delays 87th, 31st, and from the Reagan Tollway to the Grand Avenue curve. Reagan Tollway having 83 to the tri-state. Northbound Veterans Memorial. There are slow pockets over the stretch between 75th and 290. Eden's 23 minutes like Cook to Montrose, up on 28. Kennedy, 38 minutes, O'Hare to downtown, up on 44. Eisenhower's 55 minutes, 390 to downtown, outbound 56. Jam from Central to North Avenue. Stevenson, 58 minutes, 355 to the drive, outbound 44. And Ryan is 40 minutes, 95th to downtown. Northbound I-65 has cleared up at southbound. It's a big jam south of State Road 10 due to the crash. I'm Jim Talamonte, the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
St. John's Northwestern Military Academy. It immerses young men in a culture of leadership that inspires personal growth through commitment to excellence in academics, spiritual and character development, athletics, I should say, and the military traditions that have been shaping young minds since 1884. It is a beautiful 110-acre campus located in southeast Wisconsin. It's been serving young men since 1884, and now that same experience is available for young women starting this summer and next fall. Grades 7 through 12, there's boarding or day boarding, and again, it's going full co-ed. It's a place that you can trust for your son or now daughter, and as a mom, I want to know that if I choose a military boarding school, that it would encompass the values that I look for. There's limited registration for co-ed summer camp at St. John's Northwestern Military Academy. Registration is happening now. There's 4 one-week sessions, as well as year-round school applications they are taking right now, but space is limited. So here's what you do. Call 1-800-SJ-CADET. That's 1-800-SJ-CADET. Or visit their website, sjnma.org. That's sjnma.org.
Your daughter's wedding is one of the proudest moments of your life, a moment you and your family will treasure for the rest of your lives. As the months of planning start to unfold and you get closer to the special day, things can get a bit hectic. So many important details. To capture these once-in-a-lifetime memories and not have to worry about anything but the celebration, trust Artland Photography for every precious moment. At Artland Photography, it's all about you. No matter what your style, their photographers have the skill and experience to capture the moments quickly and stay out of the way. They'll make it easy to enjoy all of the smiles, laughter, and tears. To enjoy Joy for generations. Visit them at artland.com, where you can see their amazing work and outstanding reviews for yourself. Plus, learn about a special limited time offer. You'll know why Artland Photography has been Wedding Wire's couple's choice for the last 5 years. They also shoot everything from major corporate events to business and family portraits. Visit artland.com. It's all about you.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies in a capsule.
I went to have my blood test done a few weeks ago, and I met the doctor, and he was really encouraged by my progress, and I showed him what I was taking, and he started looking at all the ingredients, and he said, I'm really impressed with the shiitake mushroom. And he said, this stuff, it could clean out your arteries. And I'm like, oh, wow. He said, you may be onto something here. And he said, you just keep that up, and maybe you can start cutting back on your medication. And he says, you're helping your health by doing that. And I'm like, whoa, endorsement by the doctor.
When you call, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 35% off your first month's order and ship it to you free. Call 800-2468-751. That's 1-800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
When you're insured by Mag Mutual, you get more than just medical professional liability protection. You get partnership. They're your partner when it comes to safeguarding patients, physicians, and healthcare teams. Everything they do is focused on protecting and supporting you in the practice of medicine. From helping you save money to mitigating your risk, they are your single source for customized service and support. Their promise to protect includes comprehensive insurance solutions for the practice, business, and regulation of medicine, from expert guidance to an extensive resource library and complimentary access to up-to-date. They're committed to creating a plan specifically for you, ensuring your continued success. You can stay focused on your patients, knowing Mag Mutual is your partner. Visit them on the web at magmutual.com.
For more information about Mag Mutual in Illinois, please contact Dr. Shaw at Flagship Healthcare at 312-888-9248 or by email at info@flagshiphc.com. Visit their website at flagshiphc.com.
Right now, are you sitting in your home afraid to go out in public? Afraid to be seen in a restaurant? Afraid to talk or smile knowing those dentures will fall out at any minute? I'm Dr. Howard Cooper from Excellence in Dentistry, and we can handle all your worries. We have a complete in-house denture lab, and we're here to help you smile and eat with all the confidence again. Every day I see folks like Mary, whose family didn't know where else to turn. Mary's been losing weight and wouldn't eat with her ill-fitting dentures. After talking with Mary, we realized that not only did her denture not fit well, but she hated the way it made her look. We fabricated a new denture that day, and we designed it with Mary's concerns in mind. The smile on her face when we finished conveyed the greatest feeling of all. Mary not only looked beautiful, but she was happy and couldn't wait to get downstairs and hit the restaurant. Mary is happy and her family is happy. That's what we do for our patients. We change their lives. Call us at 847-244-4000 for your free consultation. Don't hide in your house any longer. Enjoy your summer with a new smile and a new outlook on life. Again, call us at 847-244-4000. We are located in Gurnee at Washington and 21 in Saratoga Square. Excellence in Dentistry, creating excellence one smile at a time.
AM 560, The Answer.
Even that theme music is annoying.
I love it.
Show's
Come
terrible. So replacing Roseanne, that's what we're talking about. We're actually getting some serious casting suggestions, as well as rounding out the cast.
You guys, from your father, what did your dad say?
I'll get to that. One text,
Such a tease.
rounding out the cast. Somehow figure a way to get James Wood in. Maybe as like a long lost brother or a cranky neighbor. I like that idea. We got some less serious suggestions. Tweet Stormy Daniels. Charles Barkley. Do Larry Johnson, Grandmama. I mean, he's just dressing up as a woman. John in Palatine, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Hey, Dan and Amy. I think they should call in Ted McGinley. He replaces everybody.
Okay, thanks for the call. Yeah, you could do serious casting suggestions, like Katie Seagal could reprise her role of Mary with Children.
Oh, that's right.
Here's another serious one, I think. Gary and Joliet.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe Patricia Richardson. She was, I don't know if she's contracted to Fox, but she was on Home
in the middle.
Improvement.
Yeah,
Home Improvement, right, with
and
Tim
Raymond,
Allen.
Everybody Loves
Yeah.
Raymond, and recently
Last Man
Malcolm
Standing,
in the Middle.
Well, but
Malcolm in the Middle, they just had their final season, so she's out of work.
Maybe Bryan Cranston could also play Roseanne. But I mean, Patricia Richardson, that's sort of the character she played on Home Improvement would translate well.
Right.
Yeah, that's a good. That's
I'm
interesting.
mixing up. Yeah. We need a Republican, though. The person who replaces Roseanne has got to be a Republican.
How about
because we're not represented in Hollywood ever.
How about Janine Turner? Let's go. Let's graduate and go with somebody that's a little easier on the eyes than Michael Moore in drag. James in Westmont.
Quick correction, Amy. It's Patricia Heaton, and the show was The Middle. That just ended. Yeah. So I'm
Patricia Heaton from Everybody Loves Raymond, of course.
That's correct. Yes.
Yeah.
And
Patricia Richardson's different.
Yeah, she was from.
They look alike, though, don't they?
No, they don't.
No.
Wow. Okay. Well, I guess you guys have just decided. Yeah, they totally look alike.
Stop digging. All right, James in Westmont. The floor is yours.
Yeah, thank you. I was thinking RuPaul. Why not just really go way out the back?
Sure. All right. Thanks for the call, James. Yeah.
They already have a non-gender fluent grandchild in the show.
Oh, you think there should only be one? Bigot. I think the whole cast should be gender
Roseanne's
fluid.
relationship with that grandchild because at first she was just horrified, and then she learned to love the person.
We could get Tyler from Billions.
Oh.
They could play the, I don't know, Paul in Lake Forest.
I'm going along the same theme as some other people. I thought mine would be a little more unique. I was thinking Louis Anderson and drag.
All right, thanks for the call, Paul. Is Louis Anderson still alive?
I'm on. Yes, he is.
All right, Louis Anderson is still alive. We're just updating Louis Anderson's condition. Philip in Northwest Side.
Yeah, hey guys, good morning. We don't need a Republican in there. We don't need him destroyed in Hollywood. I can't stand the show as it is, and I can't stand Hollywood. I unplugged my old house. But if you're gonna replace her, I think you should replace her with Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton needs a job. She's real good at pretending to be middle class, and if things don't work out, they'll all support her anyway.
All right, thanks, Philip. Bob and Lyle.
Yeah, how about Robert De Niro? He's his gay lover. John Goodman's gay lover, and then they throw a net over him every 10 minutes. Every time he sees Truff, and he goes crazy. The whole family has to hold him down.
All right, thanks, Bob. John in Naperville.
Guys, love your show. I was just driving in, and I'm thinking about Sarah Palin.
Oh.
All right.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, thanks for the call,
I
John.
don't know. No.
Steve on the 88, Fran Drescher from The Nanny.
Oh, I can talk like that.
Yeah, I missed her so much.
Hey, what did your dad text in?
I'll get to that.
She's such a tease.
Matt in Fox River Grove.
Melissa McCarthy.
Bingo.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Bingo.
I think she's doing, thanks for the call.
They could have mommy issues with the replacement mommy and all that, yeah.
The only problem is I think she's conflicted. I think she's working on a pilot about Sean Spicer. No?
No. All right, Larry.
My dad, I think, has, this is, again, a serious suggested change.
Of course, your dad's a very serious man.
I
love him because he loves cats.
That's right. He watches 2.5 Men with his cat, and he suggests Conchata Ferrell, Berta from 2.5 Men. Remember the maid, Berta?
Yeah.
That actually would be sort of a pitch-perfect fit.
Wow. Larry Proft wins the prize. Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
We're going to talk to the mother of a young man from Manteno, the young man being charged with felony eavesdropping for recording a conversation with his principal. We'll have her story and his story at 7:37.
But first, into the newsroom we go. Here is Mike Scott.
63 degrees, heavy rain showers in the area. Yesterday's rain in the Chicagoland area led to flooding and standing water. Park Forest especially hard hit this morning, almost 4 inches of rain in the last 24 hours, and we have a flash flood watch up through 10 a.m. House Republicans plan to vote on a compromise immigration bill next week. The more hardline bill failed on a vote of 193 to 231 yesterday. First Lady Melania Trump visiting some border facilities where children of illegal immigrants are being held in Texas.
I'm here to learn about your facility, and which I know you house children on a long-term basis.
Federal appeals court is ordering new sentences for Beltway sniper Lee Boyd Melville. In 2002, the then 17-year-old went along with John Allen Muhammad, who killed 10 in shootings across D.C., Maryland, and Virginia. 3 Central Illinois men accused of bombing a Minnesota mosque are charged now with federal hate crimes. The suspects were already charged with arson for the bombing in the Minneapolis suburb of Bloomington last year. 4 Chicago teens wounded in a shootout on the southwest side. The 3 18-year-olds and a 16-year-old were hit with gunfire yesterday near 65th and Claremont. An Iranian businessman is accused of illegally exporting aluminum tubing from Illinois. Federal prosecutors say the smuggling plot by the man from Iran in 2011 was part of a major effort to evade U.S. law and export control regulations. This 56-year-old defendant is now considered a fugitive. He was charged in 2016 in an 8-count indictment that was ordered unsealed yesterday. Cubs fell to the Reds 6-2. White Sox and A's rained out. The Bulls take Duke center Wendell Carter Jr. with the number 7 pick overall in the NBA draft. The news service of Indeed.com, used by over 3 million businesses for hiring, where business owners and HR professionals can post job openings with screener questions. Then sort, review, and communicate with candidates from an online dashboard. Learn more at Indeed.com/hire. 7:33 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
The Dennis Prager Show.
Criticizing some of the liberal media's coverage of the U.S.-North Korea summit on denuclearization, President Donald Trump said America's biggest enemy is fake news, which is so easily promulgated by fools. It's 100% accurate. America's greatest enemy is fake news. That's right.
The Dennis Prager Show. Weekdays at 11, right before Sean Hannity at 2 on AM 560. The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Papa Nicholas Coffee. Papa Nicholas Coffee, a family tradition since 1897.
Stocks and options trading involves financial risk and is not suitable for all investors.
Fire your stockbroker and hire yourself. I'm Scott Bauer, and I've been a professional trader for over 25 years. I've traded for Goldman Sachs and was the first Amazon market maker at the Chicago Board Options Exchange. I'm also the CEO here at Prosper Trading Academy, the leading educational firm teaching people how to trade the markets. For a limited time, I'm giving away one of my favorite secret trading techniques used by thousands of our students every day to help build their financial future. To learn this technique right now, call my 24/7 voicemail and just leave your email address. I'll email you my free trading technique right away. Just call 1-800-228-2155. This is the very information my students use every day to invest in their financial future. Again, call 1-800-228-2155 in the next 30 minutes and leave your email address on my voicemail. That's 1-800-228-2155. Call 1-800-228-2155.
Nowadays, there's an app for everything, and here's one that's a must-have if you golf. It's the Bolingbrook Golf Club mobile app, and it'll enhance your golf experience. You can book tee times at Bolingbrook Golf Club. There's an interactive scorecard, golf games, a GPS, latest news from the club, even a food and beverage menu, Facebook sharing, and more. Just about everything you need for your golf game besides the clubs is in the palm of your hand with the new Bolingbrook Golf Club mobile app. Go to bolingbrookgolfclub.com/contact/download our app. bolingbrookgolfclub.com/contact/download our app and download today.
Are you ready to take your golf game to the elite level? The Bolingbrook Elite Athlete Training Program, or BEAT, is the highest level of training designed to maximize potential and develop highly skilled players. You'll learn from the Bolingbrook Golf Club's world-class instructors. They've designed practice schedules and content to maximize player development. For the athlete that aspires to compete and train at the highest levels, check out BEAT, Bolingbrook Elite Athlete Training. More info at bolingbrookgolfclub.com.
7:36. Let's get an update on the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Mike. On the inbound Kennedy, we see delays right now between Austin and Ohio. It's 38 minutes, O'Hare to downtown, 20 from Montrose, 18 to the Express. Outbound 54 minutes to the airport. Edens is 21 minutes, Lake Cook Junction, outbound 33. The Eisenhower, 55 minutes either way between 390 and downtown. Stevenson, 58 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound 44. Ryan, 38 minutes from 95th to downtown. Southbound Tri-State heavy bussy to the Bensonville Bridge. Northbound, there are delays coming off 8094, starting actually at Kennedy Avenue. Continue up to Chicago Road after a crash. And then it's slow from Cicero to 31st, and from the Reagan Tollway to the Grand Avenue curve. Veterans Memorial delays southbound. The Army Trail toll to Roosevelt, northbound Boughton, most of the way to 290. Traffic service of Napa. This month at participating Napa Auto Parts stores, Avalanche AC recharge kits are on sale for just $39.99, plus a $15 prepaid Visa card by mail. Quality parts, helpful people. That's Napa know-how. Traffic answers when you need them most on Jim Talamonte on AM 560. The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1-hour heating and air conditioning weather center. Rain and drizzle today, high near 63, plenty of clouds, and 60 overnight. Currently, 62. Your next news coming up at 8. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
Don't forget that you can watch Chicago's Morning Answer on the Income Store live video stream every morning at 560theanswer.com.
When you've got questions, he always has an answer. It's Sean Hannity this afternoon at 2, right before Joe Walsh at 5 on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. Illinois has a notoriously severe and controversial eavesdropping law, or legal regime regarding eavesdropping. For example, Christopher Drew, an artist, was arrested for selling artwork on a Chicago sidewalk in 2009 and charged with a felony recording of the incident of being arrested for selling artwork. In 2010, Bridgeport resident Michael Allison was charged with a felony for recording his own court hearing after the court did not provide a court reporter. Same year, Chicagoan Tyawanda Moore charged with felony for recording conversations with Chicago Police Department investigators regarding her sexual misconduct complaint against an officer.
Wow.
That's because Illinois had an all-party consent.
Right.
Is an all-party consent state.
Both sides have to agree before
All parties.
you touch that recording.
Yeah, it's not just both sides, all parties. Federal law in a majority of states allow for one-party consent. In the March of 2014, the Supreme Court struck down Illinois' eavesdropping law, holding it criminalized a wide range of innocent conduct and violated First Amendment rights. But during the lame duck session in December of 14, the General Assembly, in their infinite wisdom, and Pat Quinn signed a new eavesdropping law. He included changes aimed at allowing residents to record interactions with police, for example, but kept intact the all-party consent provisions and introduced a difficult-to-gauge standard for when a person must get consent for recording. Specifically, the new law made it a felony to surreptitiously record any private conversation where at least one person has a reasonable expectation of privacy. Okay. It's the Illinois Policy Institute laying out the law for us. So the case of Paul Boron, 13-year-old kid who attends Manteno Middle School. In February of this year, he's called to the principal's office after failing to attend a number of detentions, apparently. Before meeting the principal and assistant principal, he began recording audio on his cell phone. He argued with the principal and assistant principal for about 10 minutes in the reception area of the school secretary's office with the door open to the hallway. So, this is important details with respect to expectation of privacy. When the young man ultimately told his assistant principal he was recording, the principal told Boren he was committing a felony, ended the conversation. 2 months later, this past April, Paul Boren, 13 years old, was charged with 1 count of felony eavesdropping.
Goodness.
So you're talking about turning this 13-year-old kid, talking to and recording his principal, assistant principal, having a discussion about the detentions he did or didn't serve, and now they want to prosecute him, potentially alter his life permanently were he to be convicted of a felony.
Right. Lose his right to vote, too, right? Be hard to get a job and hard to get into college.
For more on this topic, we're pleased to be joined by Paul's mother, Leah McNally. Leah, thanks so much for joining us. Appreciate it.
Good morning.
So where does the case stand at present?
I don't really know. I did file an answer with the case. I ended up not being able to get to court. I also didn't have representation.
So your son does not have. You're representing your son pro se. He doesn't have an attorney.
No, I'm not allowed to. I'm assuming that there's supposed to be a public defender.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Assigned. So.
Right.
So how was your son charged? I mean, did they confront him after school? How did it go down?
No, there was just at the end of the conversation, when they started harassing him more and more, he finally was set up because he had tried to plead the fifth. He's learning the Constitution, 8th grader, and I'm the type of mother, I try to teach him a little bit more in depth on it. And, so he, at one point at the beginning, I told him he pled the fifth, and he was told that he couldn't, that he was there to discuss the charges against him.
Well, wait.
And receive his due process. And the charges were just him, the detentions is what they were talking about, the lunch detentions.
Well, so you're saying when he notified the principal and assistant principal he was recording them, then the conversation ended, then they continued interrogating him. Is that what you're saying? Are you talking about the principal and assistant principal or the police?
It's the assistant principal and the principal, but this was at the beginning of the recording. When he first went in there, he had tried to tell them he didn't want to talk to them. He had told them this days before. And that's why he decided to record, because anytime that he does state anything to them, things are twisted around and added in on his permanent school record, which he can't change. I've tried to amend some things that were on there before that he was, put on there that he was falsely accused of in the past.
Why was your son called to the assistant principal's office to begin with? What's the relationship? What's the past between your son and the administration?
With this incident itself, the whole thing started. It was in the lunchroom. Him and another student were just, sitting next to each other, and they were playing. They were at a table for children who were doing a good job in their classes and stuff, and they got some free time after they were finished with lunch to play on their little computers and stuff. And the other student was, just playing with them, and gently poking him with a pencil in a playing kind of way, nothing mean or anything. And my son just simply stood up, and they were still conversing back and forth. They weren't overly loud. They weren't disturbing anyone. And the janitor came up to him and got right in his face and, screamed at him, "Sit down now." My son, in the same tone that the janitor used, told him back, "No, I don't have to." And then he was like, "Well, you're going down to the office with me." My son complied. He went to the office, but he told them he did not want to speak to them. He's like, "You're going to do whatever you want to do anyway, so just, go ahead and do whatever you do so I can go back to class." And so they told him he had to serve lunch detentions all week long, and he didn't understand why. To him, it wasn't fair. He didn't do anything. He used the same tone of voice the janitor used. If it's okay for him to do that to me, why isn't it okay? Because there's an issue in the past where when he was 10, he was assaulted by and battered by a bus aide. That was all covered up to this very day. He also mentioned that while he was in the office with them. Why didn't you help me? Why didn't you help my mom? When she was trying to, go through with charges against the woman who had battered him. And they, kind of just told him that was over. And that's kind of when he got a little bit more emotional and started talking a little bit more. And they didn't like what he was saying, so it was, okay, well, then you can serve an out-of-school suspension or an in-school suspension, which would be across the street at the high school. He told him he wasn't going to do that. He was just going to come to class. When he told them that, they said, well, then you'll be arrested for trespassing at that point. And they said, well, you know what, why don't you just stay home? Why don't you just not come to school at all? That was the principal, and my son was like, well, why would you tell me that, especially as a principal? You're not supposed to encourage me to miss school. And then he's like, okay, well, you have one day. And then as the conversation kind of continued for a few more minutes, it was every time he said something, it's like, oh, you earned yourself another day, you earned yourself another day, you earned yourself another day. And he got to 4 days out of school suspension. He's like, you know what, that's fine. He's like, it's all been recorded.
Oh.
And that's when the principal said, hey, it's wiretapping, it's a felony, this conversation's over. And then I heard nothing of it. There was no letters from the school, no letters from the juvenile, center, no letters from court.
And so ultimately in April, what happened?
I don't know. We didn't get notified. I got served. I believe it was maybe my son got served like the 29th of May. That's when we got the official findings of it, and I was supposed to have court June 5th.
And but you got notice that he is being charged with a felony, and you're to appear in court June 5th.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just by a sheriff serving the paperwork.
Have you spoken with the principal and assistant principal about this, or what have your previous interactions been with them about your son?
I haven't spoken with them to this. After the bus incident, I just had more and more escalations through the school system with the different issues with my children, and I'm one of those parents. I speak up for my children. If something is not right, it's not right. If they do something wrong, then they need to adhere to the disciplinary actions, whether it be at home, at school, wherever. You respect other people when you're around them, and respect yourself. But throughout the years, they've had this thing with me where they don't like to talk and discuss things because they kind of put their foot in their mouth, and they decided that the only way they would contact me was through email because they watch what they say that way.
Well, it's good to have a paper trail.
And when he asked them at first to please, call my mom before I talk to you, they obviously refused, and that's...
And your son is 13 years old, or was he 12 years old at the time?
He was 13. He'll be 14 next month.
So have you seen the recording, and does the recording make the assistant principal look bad?
Yeah, more so the principal than the assistant principal, because he's the principal is the more aggressive one to the students.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's definitely not a conversation. It's not the way you should be talking to a child, especially as a person who's in charge and supposed to be showing them how they're supposed to handle situations and how they're supposed to respond to people correctly and politely. And
do you have other children in the school?
Yes, sir. I have 5 children altogether. My oldest daughter, she just graduated last year, and then I have my 4 boys that were in this year.
Were there incidents in the school with this administration with your other children as well?
Oh, yes. With the same middle school, the thing that made me pull my youngest son out, he's ADHD and he has an impulse disorder, and the teachers, they didn't put him on like a 504 plan or the IEP. For some reason, they, I guess, aged them out once they get out of elementary school on the disability stuff, or at least they did with my child. And he was in the hallway, and the teacher had put him in the hallway for him acting out in class, and she left him unattended, and the assistant principal tried to make light with me as if it was a funny thing that he had, wandered 33 feet down the hallway, and the assistant principal was only 2 feet off about how far it was from the door to the water fountain. I'm like, well, what happened if my child decided, hey, I don't want to be in here anymore, I'm just going to walk out the door? Like, how long would it have took you guys to notice that?
Is there something going on at the school? I mean, are there other parents who have similar complaints in terms of how their children have been treated by the principal or assistant principal or the combination of the two? I mean, is there something going on at the school, or is it specific to your family?
No, there's definitely other kids affected by it in the area. It's kind of hard because I don't know, as far as,
But you've
putting the stuff out there. There are issues with other families.
You've spoken to other families that have kids in the school.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Is your son going to be returning to the same school this fall?
Not if the same administrators are there, no. I don't feel that their physical safety and emotional safety is any part of their concern, and I feel that they'd be abused even further and way more serious now, because anytime I've spoken up, there's been retaliation.
I mean, it's, the law notwithstanding, I find it rather remarkable that a principal and assistant principal would move to see a 13-year-old charged with felony over recording a phone conversation. Have you spoken with the Kankakee County State's Attorney's Office, and have they communicated with you at all about this case, about wanting to plead him out? Or right? Yes, exactly.
No, I have a hard time communicating with anybody in this county due to the fact, like I said, I've spoken up in the past, and that tends to be frowned upon. Especially with the last incident where when he was 10, when he was defending himself from the bus aide, when I tried to press charges, they immediately attempted to charge him with a battery against her. And they let that linger for a little over a year before they decided to drop it due to self-defense, yet they no-charged her.
When is his case next due to come up in court?
I don't know. I'll be finding out Monday. I have to go into the court physically with my ID to find out. I understand they don't want to give you information of a minor over the phone in case you're not who you're claiming to be. So,
Are you? Is your son? Is Paul still in school? Is he going to that middle school, in Manteno?
No, I pulled them all out right after that incident. That was, a little bit too much to keep handling, especially with my youngest one, with what they had done with him and having him in the office, and that same principal trying to pin him in the doorway, and he pushed himself backwards where his rear end was pinning up against my child, and pinning him in between the doorway, trying to get him to stay into the office because he didn't want to stay in there and talk. They're not good with talking to children. I think child development classes should be maybe implemented if they're not taking them. I don't know where it's going awry, where they're not connecting with children and understanding that when a child has had something happen to them where they were physically harmed, then they're still having a hard time dealing with it emotionally, and why you would just continue to attack them over it. It seems to be like a power struggle with them.
Can I make a recommendation to you, friendly recommendation? With respect to the legal representation of your son, you need to make sure that he has legal representation here, because this is not a commentary on the Kankakee County State's Attorney's Office, but the law is the law, and they may be a little bit hamstrung. However, relying on a public defender, relying on the good intentions of everybody, particularly when I think there's certainly at least question about the intentions of the school administrators who are going to have some standing in the eyes of the court, you need to make sure that your son has proper representation so that he is not, frankly, in my judgment, inappropriately convicted of a felony at 13 years old. Obviously, that would be a catastrophic outcome, and it seems wholly unwarranted based on the facts as you've laid them out.
Yes, and that's the same way I felt. I was actually just completely shocked that they had took it to that level. I mean, they have in the past with stuff threatened, with charges, and, they tried to do the same thing with my older son in high school when he was jumped by another student, who had been saying racial stuff to him and harassing him. And I attempted to go to the police, the local police department, and they told me that I had to wait. And they contacted the principal there to make sure he was okay with me pressing charges. And then when they got here, they were trying to talk me out of it, and tried to threaten him with, saying that he committed a felony when he was on the floor and trying to defend himself as the child was then over him after he punched him from behind on the side of the face and grabbed him by his neck and body slammed him on the floor. It's an intimidation tactic. So when it actually went through to the court system, it was very shocking.
Well, I'll tell you what. Off air, I'll get you some information, a referral for some people that may be able to help you in this case pro bono, so that you're there, so you're on a level playing field with the state and the school, so to speak, because this seems a bit silly to me. So Leah McNally,
I appreciate that.
Yeah, no problem. Leah McNally, the mom of Paul Boren, Manteno Middle School kid, being charged with felony eavesdropping for recording a conversation between himself and the principal and assistant principal of his middle school. Leah, hold on, and we'll get right to you, okay?
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
And she joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
The more you listen, the more you'll know. This is Chicago's Morning Answer. Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Sometimes when it rains, it pours right into your basement. This is Gus from Chicagoland Waterproofing. My mission is to identify why your home is taking on water and fix it. I want you to sleep at night during a rainstorm and not worry about your basement filling up with water. Like our client Kim from Mount Prospect.
We had chronic basement flooding and no one could figure out why. During a huge storm, water was pouring in through the window wells of our finished basement and we had to bail out 6 inches of water. We got a bunch of estimates, but Gus's was the most reasonable, plus he knew exactly what the problem was. He put in a full basement drain tile system and an additional sub pump with a backup battery. Chicagoland Waterproofing gave us peace of mind. I like to say, in Gus we trust.
From simple sump pumps to complex storm drainage and crack foundation solutions, Chicagoland Waterproofing's work comes with a lifetime warranty. Plus, a fully licensed plumber is always on staff. Request your estimate today at ChicagolandWaterproofingPros.com or call 847-296-3500.
Our freedom and security are made possible through the service and sacrifice of our military and first responders. The Gary Sinise Foundation provides many outreach programs supporting these brave men and women. Join us. Donate at GarySiniseFoundation.org.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies in a capsule.
I was diagnosed with congestive heart failure. I went from being able to work 14, 16 hours a day with no problem to where I could barely walk a block to the store. I went on to the phytonutrients about 6 months ago, and within a couple of months, my medical doctor had cut my prescriptions down in a little bit smaller dosage. The next time I went back a month later, I walked into the doctor's office and he says, "My gosh, what's happened to you? You don't even look like the same person." He looked at my legs and the swelling had gone down. My blood pressure was down. The venous stasis ulcers that I had had on my legs for the last 4 or 5 years because of the poor circulation were all healed, and I'm feeling far better.
When you call, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 35% off your first month's order and ship it to you free. Call 800-2468-751. That's 1-800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
Make sure to check out the Income Store live video stream of today's show right now at 560theanswer.com. This is Dan Proft with 60 Seconds of Sanity for Upstream-Ideas.com. Insubordination, indifference, intimidated by Hillary's lawyers, improper gifts, lack of impartiality. The IG's report makes Democrats' dreams of a Trump impeachment inconceivable. So complete is the Trump vindication that the left has regressed back to trying to figure out whether or not they're supposed to like Jim Comey. Trump should press his advantage here by consummating his anti-ruling class value proposition. The public doesn't want the FBI or DOJ to go away. They just don't want the senior leadership of those agencies to be conniving political operatives who believe themselves to be above the law. Both are headed by Trump appointees now. The president should make a very public play to take a very active role in working with Christopher Wray and Jeff Sessions, or replacing them if need be, to make the personnel and policy changes necessary for culture change and credibility restoration. Much of the positive disruption President Trump has brought to the Beltway has been through simply doing what he said he would do as candidate Trump. It confounds the men and women of always. Trump ran as a law and order candidate. The FBI and DOJ are instrumental institutions to the rule of law and public order in America. Trump would bedevil his critics once again if he chose this moment to be an institutional rebuilder.
It's news, opinion, insight. It's AM 560, The Answer. WIND, Chicago.
Republicans should stop wasting their time. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. That's what President Trump tweeted after a conservative immigration bill failed, and the vote on a more moderate one was delayed until next week.
Some of the areas where we have real disagreement, we're trying to work through them.
GOP Congressman Steve Scalise, but the president's essentially saying, why bother, saying they'll fall short in the Senate because of obstructionist Democrats calling for more Republicans to be elected. A 7-year-old boy is reunited with his mother early this morning at Baltimore's airport. She's seeking asylum and had sued in federal court to get her child released to her. A presidential executive order aims to stop the separations, and others have been reunited as well. Fox's John Decker live at the White House.
As a result of the president's executive order, which reverses the DHS policy of separating migrant families at the U.S.-Mexico border, the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Western District of Texas is no longer bringing criminal charges against a parent or parents entering the U.S. if they have their child with them. The Trump administration, meanwhile, has begun drawing up plans to house as many as 20,000 migrants on U.S. military bases. A senior administration official tells the AP that about 500 of the more than 2,300 children separated from their families at the border have already been reunited. Dave?
John, a lot of kids got sick at summer camp in Florida. 33 of them and 3 adults were hospitalized in Highlands County. Many were nauseous. One passed out at Cloverleaf 4-H camp. 60 others did not get sick. Health officials are trying to figure out the cause. Today's the deadline House Republicans set for the Justice Department to turn over documents they've been demanding about the start of the FBI's Trump campaign Russia probe.
I'm concerned that they've been dragging their feet over the Justice Department to giving Congress. They could have spared the country a whole bunch of drama if they would have complied with these document requests months ago when they were made in the first place.
House Speaker Paul Ryan. Democrats complain the GOP is trying to undermine the Russia-Trump campaign investigation. Fox News. Fair and balanced.
Rain showers and 63 degrees. 8:02 is our time on AM 560. The Answer. Good morning. I'm Mike Scott. 3 men accused of bombing a mosque in Minnesota are being charged with hate crimes. Prosecutors say the trio traveled from central Illinois near Champaign to Minnesota to toss a bomb at the Dar el-Farouk Islamic Center last August. Now, the bomb damaged an office there in the Minneapolis suburb of Bloomington, but no one was hurt. Cook County judge says he'll rule later today on whether to release on bond a man convicted in the 1982 deaths of 2 Chicago police officers, Richard O'Brien and William Fahey. Judge William Hooks tossed out Jackie Wilson's confession and ordered a new trial. Chicago police have identified the victim killed when the driver of a stolen Jeep slammed into a cab that she was riding in the River North neighborhood. Cook County Medical Examiner's Office says the victim is Diana Lamsa of Palmyra, Wisconsin. The village of Skokie is in a duel with Evanston officials over a water rate increase, and they will meet in court. A lawsuit was filed yesterday claiming that the higher rates of Lake Michigan water would violate due process and equal protection rights. Evanston is already suing Skokie over the same water rate issue. Cubs fell to the Reds 6-2. Sox and A's were rained out, and the Bulls take Duke center Wendell Carter Jr. with the number 7 pick overall in the NBA draft. 8:03, time for the AM 560 Business Beat. From the Fox Business Network, we get the latest.
From the Fox Business Network, it's expected to hurt U.S. companies that sell whiskey, motorcycles, and jeans, among other products. The European Union today starts slapping tariffs on those and other American imports in retaliation for U.S. tariffs on European steel and aluminum. Also on the EU list, cranberries, orange juice, tobacco, cosmetics, and a slew of other items. $3.4 billion worth of U.S. products in all. U.S. stock futures higher ahead of the opening bell, raising hopes the Dow Industrials will break their 8-session losing streak. One apparent reason OPEC meeting on whether to raise oil output. The Saudi and Russian energy ministers say a production hike of about 1 million barrels per day is possible. Crude today up about 1.25%. Tesla plans to shut down more than a dozen solar installation plants across 9 states. Reportedly part of the 9% workforce cuts announced last week. The solar cuts will affect facilities of the former Solar City, which merged with Tesla in 2016. With the Fox Business Report, I'm Pat O'Neill.
8:04, a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
All money managers may seem pretty much the same. But while some money managers may recommend high commission investment products, Fisher Investments avoids them. Some money managers may have hidden and layered fees. Fisher Investments never does. And while some money managers are happy to earn commissions from you, whether you do well or not, Fisher Investments fees are structured so we do better when you do better. In other words, we're structured to be on your side. Maybe that's why most of our clients come to us from other money managers. Talk with us and find out why so many experienced investors are switching to and staying with Fisher Investments. Fisher Investments, clearly better money management. Investments in securities involve the risk of loss. Visit us at FisherInvestments.com to find out what we can do for you.
Thinking about life insurance? What if you could make one free phone call and learn your best price from nearly a dozen highly rated, price-competitive companies? Well, that's exactly what happens when you call SelectQuote Life. For example, George is 40. He was getting sky-high quotes from other companies because he takes meds to control his blood pressure. But when I shopped around, I found him a 10-year, $500,000 policy for under $25 a month. I'm SelectQuote agent Dan Savino, And believe me, if SelectQuote isn't shopping for your life insurance, you're probably paying too much.
For your free quote, call 800-607-3551. That's 800-607-3551. 800-607-3551. Or go to SelectQuote.com. Since 1985, we shop, you save.
Get full details on the example policy at SelectQuote.com/commercials. Or price could vary depending on your health, issuing company, and other factors. Not available in all states.
Tired of working dead-end jobs, getting laid off time and time again? Consider the growing healthcare field. Change your future now. TTI Medical Training can help you. TTI Medical Training offers in-demand healthcare training programs so you can enter the growing healthcare field. They offer courses to become a certified nursing assistant, medical assistant, patient care technician, dialysis technician, and other rewarding healthcare careers. All TTI Medical Training programs lead to certification, and that's the key to getting a job in the healthcare field. Healthcare employers desperately need certified healthcare techs. TTI offers short-term programs that you can complete in less than 9 months. You can start your healthcare career right after graduation. They have 2 locations in Chicagoland and flexible class schedules to fit any schedule. Call now, 773-774-2222, and begin healthcare training today. Or learn more online at ttimedicalschool.com. That's 773-774-2222 or online at ttimedicalschool.com.
It's 8:07 and a check of the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim.
Mike, the CTA yellow line right now is not so Skokie Swift. There's flooding, and service right now on the yellow line is suspended. 97 Skokie buses and alternate. Park Forest, Sauk Trail still flooded in Western and Ashland. Same true of Governor's Highway, Richmond Park area, Sauk Trail and 216th. Edens is 20 minutes, Lake Cook to Montrose, outbound 33. Kennedy, 43 minutes, O'Hare to downtown, 28 from Montrose, 24 in the Express, outbound 25 to Montrose, 54 to the airport. Eisenhower, an hour, 390 to downtown, outbound an hour and 4 minutes, extension heavy both ways. Stevenson, an hour and 10 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound 54 minutes. Ryan is 44 minutes, 95th to downtown. Tri-State southbound is heavy busy to the Bensonville Bridge. Northbound, 163rd Street toll to Sibley after a vehicle fire, and Cicero to 31st, and from the Reagan Tollway to the Adams Tollway. Northbound Veterans Memorial, it's heavy from Boughton most of the way to 290. Westbound I-80 delays, Cherry Hill to Richards. There's a pothole blocking a lane. Several vehicles have flat tires. That's westbound 80th Richards. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte, AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. From the 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center with meteorologist Kevin Snyder.
Occasional rain and drizzle throughout the day and into the evening with a high today 66. Cloudy through the night, low 60. Mostly cloudy tomorrow, high 75. Partly to mostly cloudy tomorrow night with a low 62. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560, The Answer.
62 at O'Hare. Next news, 8:30. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Retirement Zone Radio and the North Shore Capital Group, empowering you Saturday afternoons at 4.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. Well, as the Supreme Court's term comes to an end, some of the bigger cases are being, with the opinions of the bigger cases are being released. And yesterday it was South Dakota v. Wayfair. A 5-4 majority tossed out the court's 50-year physical presence standard that limited states from collecting sales tax from out-of-state retailers, providing the opportunity for states to require internet retailers to collect sales taxes from customers
that live in states that don't have sales tax, right?
Well, that live in states where the retailer has no physical presence.
Ah, got it.
And it was interesting, the majority, it's sort of an unusual coalition. Clarence Thomas, Gorsuch, Alito, Ginsburg, and Kennedy formed the majority. Justice Kennedy writing the opinion for the majority, arguing that physical presence rule the physical presence rule, is a poor proxy for the compliance costs faced by companies that do business in multiple states, and suggesting that other aspects of the Commerce Clause can better and more accurately address any potential burdens on interstate commerce. He also, the holding provides the opportunity for states to perhaps have a go-ahead to tax other kinds of online commerce, such as media downloads and streaming services, as we do here with the cloud tax in Chicago, and but limited here. This so has implications for poorly run states that have huge unfunded liabilities and debt loads, like, say, Illinois, Connecticut, New Jersey, California, New York, to become a lot more creative as it pertains to taxing business. You can imagine how this is being received in the community of free marketeers who want the internet to be held as inviolate as possible. If we want to normalize the playing field between the internet and brick and mortar stores, let's move in the direction of reducing taxes on everybody as opposed to imposing taxes on everyone. And for more on this topic, we're pleased to be joined by one of the leaders of that chorus. He is our friend Grover Norquist, president of Americans for Tax Reform. Grover, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Dan, Amy, good to be with you.
You say in the statement you released following the announcement of the court's decision that today the Supreme Court said, yes, you can be taxed by politicians you do not elect and who act knowing you are powerless to object. What do you mean?
Well, this legalizes taxation without representation. What physical presence was, LL Bean used to just have one store in Maine, but they'd sell you stuff over catalogs, through the mail, through the internet. And if you bought a shirt in Maine, you would pay the sales tax because all their staff is there, their business is there, they use the fire department, their people go to school. But if you bought it online or through the mail on catalogs from Illinois, there's nothing in LL Bean that uses any of the services of any city in Illinois or the state. And if Illinois wanted to tax you, because you live in Illinois, they could knock on your door and say you owe us some money. But Illinois said it's easier for us to levy taxes on these businesses and make them do our court. And the Supreme Court said with 10,000 taxing jurisdictions, this is years ago, with 10,000 taxing jurisdictions, there's no way in the world that even large companies could do this very competently, but certainly a small company that's, making stuff and shipping it around to a few hundred people or a few thousand people, and they've got to keep the records on that. It's way too abusive. Only physical presence. You can tax businesses when they set a store up in your state, but not if there's no physical presence from the store. And you can always tax the person. They can always do that. So politicians want to be able to levy the tax on the business, not on you, because they don't want to irritate you, because you can vote against them. So they want the sales tax to be paid by somebody else. This is all about, from the standpoint of the politicians, let's make it easy to get our money. Let's fool people as to who's raising. Oh, LL Bean's raising their prices. No, they're not. Illinois is raising their taxes. And they've opened a Pandora's box. Because this is not about sales taxes. It never was. What the left wants to do, what the public employee unions want, is to extend the income tax, the personal and corporate business income tax, across state lines. That's where the cash is. There is no money on sales tax. Now that Amazon's in all 50 states, right? They're already paying this tax.
What does it mean? Okay, so all right. Sorry for interrupting here, but what does it mean? There's 4 states with no sales tax: Delaware, Montana, Oregon, New Hampshire. So how does that work? If you live in a state that has no sales tax, you order something from a different state, are you taxed with that? How is it going to work? I don't get it.
Lord knows how it's going to work, because we have now a state that has a sales tax and a use tax, right? I mean, it's a crime for you to use something you bought somewhere else without paying Illinois. The use tax, it's like a sales tax, but they have to admit that you may have bought it somewhere else. The state of Illinois wants to make a state that has no sales tax and businesses that don't collect sales taxes because they don't have sales taxes in Delaware and some of these states. Right. They're going to have to do something to collect Illinois' tax. And by the way, they're going to get a letter from Illinois. Here's how we do it our way. They'll get one from Texas. Here's how we do it our way. There are 50 different states, okay? And Illinois is not the only crazy one. So they're going to, and cities will weigh in, and counties will weigh in, and the water district will figure out a way to get in on this action.
But to the point that Anthony Kennedy said, essentially this has been a tax shelter for retailers. That's not exactly true because they're not paying the taxes. They're collecting the taxes under this decision. And the argument that's made is in all 45 states with sales taxes, residents owe the tax on all purchases they make, whether they're filling their shopping cart at a bricks and mortar store or ordering from a website of a distant retailer. So if the taxes aren't collected at the point of sale, the shopper has to pay them when he or she files his annual tax return, but states don't have an effective way of enforcing this. So this is a way to narrowly address this. If the court were, if the court's mind was to narrowly address the scenario I just described, thinking that they're opening this Pandora's box that you're describing of where the left wants to go next, where the tax eaters want to go next, do you have a problem with addressing this problem that they've identified?
Well, first of all, I saw the numbers you said. It may be $33 billion. This is a nonsense number that the left has been putting out for 20 years, okay? And the number they put out never changes, which always makes me wonder about a number that hasn't changed in 20 years. The amount, the major companies have presences in all 50 states. And so Amazon, hanging out in Oregon or Washington and shipping stuff out, that doesn't happen. That's not what's going on. In almost all cases, except diamonds, the cost of shipping books or anything else from one state to your state is more than the sales tax you avoid by buying it online, okay? So this cost differential that some businesses tell you, oh, there's this big cost differential because they'll come into my bookstore, not buy my books, they'll order them online. The cost of shipping is greater than the cost of the sales tax. This is what people are using online or catalogs before online is for convenience and because it's easier for them to do. I realize retailers are having challenges. They're blaming everybody and their brother other than themselves. The big cities need more money. They want to imagine there's a way to get it from somebody who can't vote against them and that there's billions and billions of dollars. It's just not accurate. When you look at the numbers, they're much smaller than that. And what we will get eventually is a law out of Washington, D.C. Right. And, it's a sad situation when a law out of Washington, D.C. is what's going to improve the chaos, is to say, hopefully, smaller businesses don't get whacked like this and put some limits. I mean, a state could send a note to a business and note to Albina, just for example, and say, we think you owe us $1,000 in sales taxes you haven't paid. Either send us $1,000 or spend about $10,000 on a lawyer. Make a decision quick. Okay, and you could abuse an out-of-state smaller business. Why? Because they can't vote against you, and they'll just send you the money. And it's probably a good idea to raise money for your next campaign from those people too, while they're looking at those. So the amount of corruption and abuse of what you can do to somebody in a state that does where they can't vote against you, there's no limit to how nasty you can be to people who won't vote against you.
And so we can distinguish this from, say, other taxation. We moved from a physical nexus test with retailers, online retailers, to this economic presence test. And thinking about how states do income taxation, if I'm physically present in Florida for 181 days as opposed to Illinois, then I can file my income taxes, which I don't have to because there's no income tax in Florida, which of course is what a lot of Illinoisans are doing. But if I'm not, if I'm in Illinois a majority of the year, then I have to file here. So when it comes to the individual or the business, there is the brick and mortar business, there's still this physical presence standard. And now we're going to sort of an economic physical nexus, physical presence. Now we're going to an economic presence test that's virtual. And so is this the argument to make? And this the differential that Congress needs to address?
Yeah, well, they're going to decide that they can export corporate income taxes. The Europeans have already announced the European Union, that they want to tax companies that make money based off of eyeballs in Europe. Okay, that's the presence that people are going online and doing stuff, and companies. They've looked at some of our larger, most successful companies. They can't compete with that. They can't do that themselves, and they want to tax it. And they're coming up with new theories of how do you say that somebody owes you money because somehow they did what inside your borders. Our Supreme Court has just told the Europeans, you can be very inventive. The simple one is, are you physically here, which stops a lot of nonsense. We've thrown that out the window. Did we offer something else? No. Is there a federal standard? No. We're going to have 50 states making their own standards. We're going to have 1,000 cities making their own standards. It's going to get ugly and crazy, and eventually Congress will come in. And imagine what hostage the Democrats will demand to fix this, right? They'll go to the retailers and say, well, we can fix your problem for you. And they go to consumers, we can fix your problem for you, but you're going to have to do X.
Yeah.
And that is going to be expensive. We have been fighting in Congress to keep Congress from making it worse than it was when we had the Supreme Court protection of physical presence. The fight has not been to get this fixed. The fight has been to avoid having it get worse. And because the big city political machines are desperate for more cash, and they will fight against anything that limits the ability of cities. I don't care so much about states, of cities being able to export these taxes, and then hopefully the state will export some and give it to the cities.
He is Grover Norquist, president of Americans for Tax Reform. Grover, thanks as always for joining us. Appreciate it.
Dan, Amy, thanks.
And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
Before you see it on TV, share it on Facebook, or read about it in the paper. Hear it here first. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Plenty of wet weather, standing water. It's just a mess out there. We're going to have rain on and off throughout the day and into this evening. A high today of only 63 degrees, downright chilly. And then tomorrow, Saturday, mostly cloudy, warmer, a high of 75. And on Sunday, pleasant with sun and clouds, a high near 80 degrees. Let's get into the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. I'm sure it's a mess out there. What roads are closed? Here's Jim Telemonte with the answer.
Thanks, Amy. Richton Park Governor's Highway still closed between Sauk Trail and 216th due to the high water, and Sauk Trail is flooded between Western and Ashland. CTA Yellow Line trains are not running right now due to the flooding. Buses instead. Eden's 19 minutes, Lake Cook to Montrose, outbound 29 minutes. Kennedy, 50 minutes, O'Hare to downtown. 38 from Montrose, 34 in the Express. Outbound 52 to the airport. The Eisenhower's an hour, 390 to downtown. Outbound a taxing hour and 8 minutes. Stevenson an hour and 12 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Outbound an hour 10. Ryan is 44 minutes, 95th to downtown. I-57, Bishop Ford both light. Tollway is fairly routine. The Adams Tollway is actually fine. Reagan Tollway delays, Farnsworth, Naperville, and 83 to the Tri-State. Usual heavy stuff on the Tri-State and the Veterans Memorial. I'm Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
Hey, if you're a business owner, you've experienced your fair share of emergencies, and you know they always seem to happen at the worst time. Well, wouldn't it be nice to have someone on call 24 hours, someone who's got your back to help you prevent whatever may come up? It's not possible for every emergency, but it is available for your business's IT and computer systems. With the support agreement, Turnkey IT will keep your computer systems online and running with no worries. If an emergency does pop up, Turnkey IT is prompt and responsive without charging an enormous after-hours rate. The certified pros at Turnkey IT proactively keep your business computer systems online with remote and on-site support. And right now, listen up, for a limited time, you can save up to $500 a month on a support contract, plus unlimited cloud backup at no cost. Enjoy the secure feeling of your network being supported by Turnkey IT 24/7. Visit turnkey.pro. That's turnkey.pro. DiscoverStudyLoans.pro.
Dad, what are you doing?
Cramming for college.
I'm the one going to college.
Yeah, but we need to figure out how we're going to pay for it all.
Discover Student Loans.
Discover does student loans?
Yeah, they're one of the top student loan lenders in the country. It takes 15 minutes or less to apply, and there are no fees for the life of the loan. Best of all, I can earn cash rewards if I get good grades.
Really?
Yeah, we still have time to apply and get a great rate.
So I can just chill. College kids still say that, right?
No one says that, Dad.
Really?
Yeah.
Visit discoverstudentloans.com to apply today. Limitations apply.
Right now at CVS Pharmacy, you can earn up to 50 extra bucks rewards each year just for filling prescriptions. Which means the medicines you take to stay healthy might also do a little something for the health of your wallet. So visit your local CVS Pharmacy to sign up and start earning up to 50 extra bucks rewards on prescriptions. Terms and conditions apply. Not valid on all prescriptions, including those purchased in Arkansas, New Jersey, or New York. Other state restrictions apply. See cvs.com/pharmacy rewards or the pharmacy for details.
Hi, I'm Dan Eldridge, owner of Max & Shooter Supplies and Indoor Range in Des Plaines, and president of Federal Firearms Licensees of Illinois. 2018 has been a very active session in Springfield on anti-gun legislation, and I'd like to thank all the industry groups and Illinois gun owners whose pressure helped keep some of the worst anti-gun legislation bottled up. In particular, Springfield Armory has, after a troubling start to 2017, stepped up hugely for Illinois gun owners. They replaced their previous lobbyist and staged a team of 5 pros to advocate for your gun rights in the Illinois General Assembly. They were early and reliable supporters of the Illinois Dealer Lobby Group and have done excellent work this session. Please join us at Max & Shooters this Saturday, June 23rd, for our annual Springfield Armory Day. See and shoot a variety of new Springfield products for only $10. Enjoy free food, a gun raffle, and great sale prices on all Springfield firearms. That's this Saturday, June 23rd at Max & Shooters in Des Plaines. For info, visit maxondshooters.com. That's MAXON shooters.com.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies in a capsule.
I'm Mark Gastineau. I played in the NFL for 10 years. I was diagnosed with CTE, with dementia, Alzheimer's, and Parkinson's. The fruits and vegetables that we take from Balance of Nature is the best thing that we could ever do. And I'm calling in now to order extra because my wife has been taking mine because she sees a difference in me. It is a wonderful thing that Balance of Nature is doing. I hear the testimonies on the radio, but I'm a testimony for myself. And the fruits and vegetables, if I don't take them every single day, my day is not going to go the same. So God bless you, and thank you for what you've done for my wife and I.
When you call, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 35% off your first month's order and ship it to you free. Call 800-2468-751. That's 1-800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
Looking to secure a mortgage? Then you need to call Team Hochberg. Abby, millennial, purchasing a home. So her father, Sal, recommended she secure a Team Hochberg approval before speaking with a realtor. Abby naturally consulted with her friends who've never purchased a home before and applied online. Abby called her dad because the online lender wasn't responding to her emails. Sal told her to stop messing around with the online lender and call Team Hochberg, the only lender he trusted to help his daughter. We approved Abby to purchase a home, and Team Hochberg's real estate experts found Abby the perfect home. The internet's great for purchasing socks, shoes, and underpants, not mortgages. When securing a mortgage, you can either waste your time getting terrible service from online lenders, or you can call Team Hochberg at 312-751-1333 or visit am560david.com. Team Hochberg has helped thousands of AM560 listeners, but we can't help if you don't call 312-751-1333 or visit am560david.com. Pearl Mortgage, an equal housing lender, Illinois residential mortgage licensee 4358 and MLS 19186.
Now's the time to soak up that summer sun and spend time with friends and family. Instead of spending that valuable time on home projects, let Home Advisor take them off your plate. Whether you've been thinking about a big project like installing a new sprinkler system or a small project like just mowing the lawn, go to homeadvisor.com. Tell them what you need. In just seconds, you're going to be matched with the best pros in your area who can do the work and do it right. You can read customer reviews of the pros, check their availability, even book appointments online for a time that works best for you. And with Home Advisor's Project Cost Guide, you can check what others paid for similar jobs in your area so you know you're getting a fair price. No matter what home project you've been thinking about, installing a new AC unit, new windows, maybe a big job like a new roof, Home Advisor makes it easy to find and hire the best pros in your area. Find great pros now to handle the job this summer so you can kick back and relax. Go to homeadvisor.com or download the free app to get started on your next project. That's homeadvisor.com, homeadvisor.com.
AM 560, The Answer.
Hey, you know, we were talking earlier about Roseanne and who's going to replace her and how she's going to be written off the show. Somebody texted in, Roseanne, in a midlife crisis, has decided to go on the campaign trail for Trump. She leaves a note and 6 Keep America Great Again t-shirts.
Yeah.
I love it.
Sure.
That
All right.
would be awesome.
All right. Some budding screenwriters out there. All right.
Yeah. Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
The girl who became the face of the family separation crisis this week
Yeah.
was never separated from her family at 8:38.
More fake news. But first, let's get into the newsroom with some real news. This man never embellishes. This is Mike Scott.
I'd love to embellish the fact that the sun is out this morning, but it's not. And on Park Forest, our friends there have had almost 4 inches of rain in the last 24 hours, causing major flooding and heavy rain, causing problems on the roads. Jim Talamonte will be along with all the expert information you need in just a moment. Trump administration planning to house thousands of illegal immigrant children on military bases.
Pentagon has now been tasked to draw up plans to house up to 20,000 more migrant children on military bases beginning as early as July.
That's our reporter Peter Alexander. The Department of Health and Human Services has looked at 4 bases, 3 in Texas, 1 in Arkansas. Protesters continued to demonstrate for a second straight day in East Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, after the deadly shooting of what many are calling an unarmed black teenager this week. NBC's Ron Mott is on the scene.
Protesters hit the road overnight, shutting down Interstate 376 in both directions for a number of hours. They also protested outside the police department here, shut down an intersection.
The protest came after 17-year-old Antoine Rose was shot by an officer while running away from a traffic stop after being told not to. Police had pulled that vehicle over because it matched the description of one involved in an earlier shooting. 2 guns were found in the vehicle. Disneyland this morning wants to know if you will pay by the hour to visit the happiest place on earth. California Adventure's highly anticipated new Pixar Pier is opening a day early today for dedicated fans who will pay $299 or $50 an hour simply to get in. Wall Street Journal reporting in the sneak peek party is specifically designed to see if people will pay a premium by the hour to avoid crowds. 3 men are accused of bombing a Minnesota mosque are now charged with federal hate crimes. The Central Illinois suspects were already charged with arson for the bombing of that Dar el-Farouk mosque in the Minneapolis suburb of Bloomington. The father of Quintonio LeGrier is denying statements made by a Chicago police officer who shot and killed his son in 2015. While on the witness stand in the wrongful death lawsuit this week, again, Officer Robert Rialmo said Antonio LeGrier told him that he did what he needed to do after he shot the 19-year-old college student. The father testified yesterday he never said those words. The mother of Quintonio LeGrier is expected on the witness stand today. Tazewell County has changed its mind. It will not be an Illinois gun sanctuary. The county will also not tell the sheriff for now what laws to enforce. County leaders are rewriting their pro-Second Amendment legislation. County Board Chair David Zimmerman said the county will still pass the resolution, but not use the word sanctuary. Cubs fell to the Reds 6-2. Sox and A's rained out. Bulls tabbed Duke center Wendell Carter Jr. with the number 7 pick overall in the NBA draft. The news service of LifeLock. No one wants to wake up to the news that they're the victim of identity theft or that malware is attacking their smartphone. That's why new LifeLock with Norton now includes protection for your identity and devices. Join at LifeLock.com. Use promo code RISK to save an additional 10% off your first year. 8:35 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Mike Gallagher believes Trump just got reelected.
On behalf of Chairman Kim and myself, we're both very honored to sign the document. Thank you.
President just got reelected. The President of the United States just took a huge step towards guaranteeing his 2020 reelection with this historic, epic, unprecedented, unheard of summit.
The Mike Gallagher Show. Weekdays at 9, right before Dennis Prager at 11 on AM 560. The Answer.
Quote, buy, and save on home insurance with Progressive's new Home Quote Explorer. Only at Progressive.com.
We're Sound Income Strategies, and baby boomers who work with us know the secret to a great retirement is our middle name, Income. At Sound Income Strategies, we transform high-fee, high-taxed retirement spend-down schemes into sustained retirement income. And we can do the same for you. For your free, no-obligation income kit,
call 866-913-1234. That's 866-913-1234.
It's time to get off the Wall Street roller coaster, stop the retirement spend-down schemes, and join the income generation. For your free, no-obligation income kit,
call 866-913-1234. That's 866-913-1234.
Investment advisory services offered through Sound Income Strategies, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisory firm. Sound Income Strategies. The secret to a great retirement is our middle name.
Call 866-913-1234.
For years, you've heard of St. John's Northwestern Military Academy, serving young men with an outstanding education and preparation for life. Now that same experience is available for your daughter. With summer vacation right around the corner, now is a great time to register your son or daughter for summer camp at St. John's Northwestern Military Academy in the beautiful region of southeast Wisconsin. It's a time to refocus from the distractions of life and explore the potentials in many areas of life. There's Camp St. John's Northwestern with 4 one-week sessions of outdoor activities for 10 to 16-year-olds, and summer school for 5 weeks to recover credits or get ahead for full credit. Limited registration for co-ed summer camp is happening now, as well as the year-round school application process. Hurry, space is limited. For more information, call 1-800-SJ-CADET. That's 1-800-SJ-CADET. Or visit their website, sjnma.org. That's sjnma.org.
8:38. Let's get an update on the morning ride. In the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center with the numbers, here's Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Mike. CTA Yellow Line trains are not running right now due to flooding. There are shuttles going between Dempster and Howard. Closures of Governor's Highway in Richton Park and Sauk Trail in the Park Forest area due to flooding. Eden's 19 minutes, like Cook to Montrose, outbound 29. To Kennedy, 50 minutes. O'Hare to downtown, outbound at 52 minutes. Eisenhower an hour, 390 to downtown, outbound an hour and 8 minutes. Stevenson an hour, 12, 355 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound an hour and 10 minutes. Ryan, 44 minutes, 95th to downtown, southbound Tri-State heavy. From the Adams Tollway to the Bensonville Bridge, northbound for Bishop Ford Dixie Highway from 159th to 111th and the 95th to 31st. Also jammed the Reagan Tollway to the Adams Tollway. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560. The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1-hour heating and air conditioning weather center. A cool day ahead. Occasional rain and drizzle, a high of 63, a low of 60 overnight. Currently 60 at O'Hare. Next news coming up at 9. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Empowered Investing, the show dedicated to investors. Saturdays at noon on AM 560, The Answer.
Hey, Joe Walsh here. This immigration hell week comes to a close. Where are we? We'll talk about that when Freedom returns at 5.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. And so this Honduran 2-year-old girl, Yanela Hernandez.
Oh, yeah, she's everywhere. She's like the face of this event or whatever you want to call it.
Sure.
Crisis, whatever.
DC Press Corps outlets and their allied handmaidens in places like Chicago picked up on this girl who was crying, made her the face of the family separation issue.
Right. They actually have her on the cover of Time magazine. They photoshopped President Trump in looking down at her with "Welcome to America."
Mm-hmm. Right, imposing like "Welcome to America."
Yes.
You're not coming in. She's crying. Scott Stantis, a sentimentalist cartoonist for the Tribune, picked up on this. Everybody was reporting this story and reporting it inaccurately. The father of the 2-year-old child,
yeah,
said that she was never separated from her mom. His daughter was never separated from her mother.
Oh, really?
Never separated.
But that doesn't fit the narrative. I mean, the first time I saw this video, she was with her mom, and she just started crying because her mom was being questioned. But also, she's 2, and 2-year-olds cry a lot when they're hungry or tired, and it looked like she had just had a long journey.
The father, Dennis, said his wife and daughter were never separated by Border Control agents and remain together. His wife previously mentioned her wish to go to the United States for a better future, but did not tell him or any of their family members that she was planning to make the trek. She paid a coyote $6,000 to help her and the daughter get across the border. I didn't support it. I asked her why. Why would she want to put our little girl through that? But it was her decision at the end of the day, said Dennis, the father/husband. He said his wife wanted to experience the American dream, hoped to find a good job in the States, whereas he works as a captain at a port on the coast of Puerto Cortes, explaining things at home were fine but not great, and his wife was seeking political asylum, so she made the decision to make the 1,800-mile journey with her 2-year-old daughter on June 3rd, and with the help of a coyote, and he hadn't heard from her since. But all that happened was she put the child down.
Right.
The child started crying. A Getty photographer snapped the picture, and then they built a narrative around it.
I mean, she was just, I mean, if you see the whole video in its entirety, you can clearly see it was taken out of context.
I'll look forward to all of those corrections being issued.
Oh, right.
For more on this topic, writ large, we're pleased to be joined by Steve Cortes, CNN political commentator and Trump Hispanic Advisory Council member. And Steve got in a bit of a sticky wicket on CNN this week because he used language that is not officially sanctioned by CNN, calling the people trying to get into this country illegally invaders, not immigrants. Steve, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. Thanks for having me.
So this incendiary language you're using, you're upsetting your fellow panelists at CNN. Explain yourself.
You know, I did. Just to clarify, though, I did put out a tweet the next day, and I actually said I wished I hadn't used that word. I mean, I think it's technically true, but I don't want to fall into the same trap that the left constantly uses against us. I don't want to succumb to their incendiary language where they always use the most hyperbolic terms possible, in this case, constantly comparing us to Nazis, which is just utterly insulting, illogical, on every level wrong. And I don't want to even go a little bit down that path. So I do take back the term invader, but nonetheless, I'm not softening on policy. I still think anyone who trespasses over our sovereign border without permission needs to be prosecuted. And if they happen to have a child in tow with them, that's a tragedy for the child, and the child's a victim of their parents' misbehavior, or a lot of times it's not the parent, but the adult's misbehavior, because half the time we don't know who these people are. So I haven't softened it all on my stance, and certainly on the policy, but I'm going to try to use more appropriate words because, again, I don't want to do what General Hayden, former head of the CIA, did when he compared this to Auschwitz.
No, you
Donnie
shouldn't
Deutsch
do that.
Right. Donnie Deutsch just this morning on MSNBC said anyone who supports this policy is effectively a Nazi guard. He said that on Morning Joe. So their language is so over the top that I don't even want to get within the arena of that. So I'll take back invaders, but I stand firm on the policy of we need zero tolerance border control.
Well, speaking of taking back, were you taken back by President Trump's rare reversal in this executive order that he signed?
I was very taken back, quite frankly, and I said so on air. I don't often criticize the president, but I thought that was I thought the message he sent was, if you call me Hitler 5,000 times, I might cave, right? Or if you show some disturbing pictures. And by the way, I'm so glad that you talked about the truth of that crying toddler. By the way, listen, I've got 4 kids. If we were to base policy on kids crying, even family policy, that would be a mistake, much less national policy. Now, look, are there some kids down there who are having a tough time? I'm sure, and I empathize tremendously. They are victims. They didn't choose to do this, just as any criminal in the United States who's separated from their child probably is causing anguish for the child. But that doesn't mean the cop who arrested them is the perpetrator. It doesn't mean President Trump is the perpetrator. It means their parents who decided willfully to break the law. They are the ones who are mistreating those children. And look, I really believe that the president, I think, temporarily succumbed to weakness there. I really do. However, on the other side, this morning he's putting out some pretty tough tweets. And if anything, he seems to be moving back to the right. of telling the Congress, for instance, in his tweet this morning, don't bother. You know, and I think what he means by that is I'm not going to sign some sort of milquetoast, watered down Paul Ryan amnesty bill. And so I think maybe he's finding his spine again, and hopefully some people like me who were disappointed with him and told him so on air and otherwise after that executive order, maybe we reaffirmed his strength on this issue.
Do you think that's a little bit of an effort to apply some reverse psychology to Senate Democrats in particular if the Paul Ryan bill were to make it out of the House next week and be taken up by the Senate? The president previously said he would sign either bill, the Ryan bill or the Goodlatte bill. The Goodlatte bill loses yesterday, goes down, doesn't pass. But maybe trying to get either to just keep Democrats in that crucible. If you say you want a solution writ large, well, here's a solution, including a DACA fix, including a family separation fix. And if you can get it over to the Senate, I'll continue to be open-minded about signing it if it gets to my desk. And if it doesn't get to my desk, it highlights Democrats' complete uninterest in actually addressing immigration in any material way.
Right. No, and that could well be his strategy there. And by the way, that is just the reality of the situation. You know, the president came a long way for a man who campaigned on no DACA, right? He promised to end DACA on day one of his presidency, which, by the way, I don't agree with him on that point. I'm pro-DACA. But the point is he went from saying no DACA, day one, it's done, all the way over to, you know, extending it as president and then offering, I think, a really, really generous solution. I mean, not only is he offering DACA, he's offering almost 3 times the number of people that signed up for it. About 750,000 or so signed up. He's offering all the way to 2 million who we believe are eligible for it. So he went, I think, you know, above and beyond expectations, really got a lot of people in his base pretty angry, frankly, but said, I'm willing to make this amnesty, and there's no other word for it, it's an amnesty. I'm willing to make this amnesty if we get the border wall, restrictions on chain migration, and the visa lottery, and now we're also thrown into that soup, you know, clarifying this issue of separating families. So to me, he bent over backwards, and the Democrats still said, you know, we're not coming to the table. We're not playing ball. What does that tell me? They want an issue. They don't want a solution. They want to show crying babies in November because they think it'll allow them to take the House.
So they're pushing the vote on this, you know, moderate immigration plan to next week. But yesterday, no Democrats even voted. They didn't. I mean, it's like they're ignoring its existence.
Right. No, there's a standoff. I mean, and I think it's ridiculous. Again, the Democrats want an issue. Let's just be honest here, too, I think, about immigration. I give President Trump so much credit for taking this issue head on because for decades, Republicans sort of talked tough on controlling the border and illegal immigration, but they never acted. And I think the reason they didn't is because their corporate clients, their crony capitalist clients, frankly, loved the constant flow of cheap labor into this country. So that's the fault sort of on the right. And then on the left, all they saw is new voters, right, is people who will come here, some of whom will illegally vote, but they'll have children who will be American citizens who will vote. And that's all they saw. Was we want to grow the Democratic Latino base in places like Texas and California. And so I think both sides, frankly, neglected the interests of the American worker and instead pursued their very narrow parochial political interests. Trump came in and smashed that and just said, you're all wrong. The swamp has this wrong. And the American people don't want uncontrolled illegal immigration because it's a risk to national security, and it's most of all for most of them, it's a risk to economic security. And so I give him credit for blowing that system up. But it's not easy to go in there and blow it up. And so that's what we're seeing now is, a lot of fits and starts on the road to I think, sanity of controlling illegal immigration.
You're a bit of a raconteur, a fashion plate. So I wonder if you could comment on the greater fashion emergency yesterday. Was it Wendell Carter Jr.'s Gucci scarf or Melania's I really don't care, do you coat?
Right. Well, I really don't know what the message was with the coat. What do you think, Dan?
I think it was scrunched up so much. I mean, you're asking Dan, but I'm inserting myself.
Yeah,
I think it's because I'm the woman here. I think it was scrunched up so much you couldn't read what it said. So the media had to find a copy of what that jacket was to see what it said.
Right.
And I was shocked.
I think that
the whole world's watching. She can wear anything. She's a billionaire fashion model. She chooses last year's Zara, which is a $39 jacket.
It is still au courant, but I think what you're missing, I think, both of them are sort of very good at manipulating the media. I think they're provocateurs. Her, obviously, much more subtle than President Trump, and I think they like to put things out there that leave people discussing them, trying to interpret them, seeing, sort of inscrutably trying to, divine meaning from every move or every article of clothing that is offered for public consumption. And I think I think you could interpret it a lot of different ways, and I think they like that.
Right. No, listen, that's true. And I'll tell you one thing that Trump has certainly done since he ran for office, and certainly now as president, is he always figures out ways, and I think sometimes very purposely so, to absolutely dominate the conversation. I mean, if you watch the cable news channels, 95% of the day is directly Trump related, and he wants it that way, I think. If he sucks up all the oxygen in the room, that's a good thing for Trump. And in general, it has worked for him. There's times when it doesn't, but in general. I do think, by the way, too, on the substance of it, I'm very glad that she went down there because there are kids suffering. And so I think it was the right human thing to do. I also think it was smart politically. We've got a lot of bad pictures that people show, some of which are dishonest, like that Time cover. But there are some troubling pictures. Let's show a great picture, of our beautiful First Lady, mother, going down there and showing compassion. I think the president himself should go, and I've told the White House that. I think he should go and tour one of these camps and just make sure, put his own eyes on it and see that kids are being well treated. Because again, I think it's the right human thing to do, but also the optics and the politics matter. But again, I can't emphasize enough, these kids, if there are kids who are in traumatic experiences, it's because of what their parents did, not because of what President Trump did or ICE or Border Patrol.
He is Steve Cortez, CNN political commentator and member of Trump's Hispanic Advisory Council. Steve, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
You bet. Have a great day.
He joined us on our Turnkey.pro answer line.
It's like a hot, steaming cup of information to start your day. It's Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies in a capsule. Thousands of doctors, health specialists, and professionals recommend Balance of Nature as a way of improving their health. Listen to a few unsolicited success stories from doctors that use Balance of Nature as well.
Scientific research has shown that many cancers and lifestyle diseases can be prevented with a diet rich in fruits and vegetables. This prevention comes from the phytochemicals in the plants. I take Balance of Nature because I know, I've seen it in my lab, and I know that it works. I've seen the immune response increase, I've seen your DNA repair capacity increase, and I've seen DNA protection. And that, to me, as a scientist, rings so true.
When you call, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 35% off your first month's order and ship it to you free. Call 800-2468-751. That's 1-800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
This is Dan Proft with 60 Seconds of Sanity for Upstream-Ideas.com. Insubordination, indifference, intimidated by Hillary's lawyers, improper gifts, lack of impartiality. The IG's report makes Democrats' dreams of a Trump impeachment inconceivable. So complete is the Trump vindication that the left has regressed back to trying to figure out whether or not they're supposed to like Jim Comey. Trump should press his advantage here by consummating his anti-ruling class value proposition. The public doesn't want the FBI or DOJ to go away. They just don't want the senior leadership of those agencies to be conniving political operatives who believe themselves to be above the law. Both are headed by Trump appointees now. The president should make a very public play to take a very active role in working with Christopher Wray and Jeff Sessions, or replacing them if need be, to make the personnel and policy changes necessary for culture change and credibility restoration. Much of the positive disruption President Trump has brought to the Beltway has been through simply doing what he said he would do as candidate Trump. It confounds the men and women of always. Trump ran as a law and order candidate. The FBI and DOJ are instrumental institutions to the rule of law and public order in America. Trump would bedevil his critics once again if he chose this moment to be an institutional rebuilder.
Quality doors and windows are one of the smartest investments you can make. They improve your home's appearance and save you money on energy bills year-round. Say goodbye to high-pressure sales tactics and enjoy the best window and door experience with Next Door & Window. Call now and schedule your free quote, 630-590-1370, or go online to nextdoorandwindow.com. Next Door & Window has wood-clad, vinyl, and fiberglass windows and doors. Their staff will help you find exactly what you want. Right now, get 10% off windows and doors with no money down and no payments for 1 year. Call 630-590-1370 or go to nextdoorandwindow.com to schedule your free quote. Choose from 3 showrooms in Chicagoland, Arlington Heights, Burr Ridge, and Naperville. Call 630-590-1370 or go to nextdoorandwindow.com to schedule your free quote and for finance qualifications.
Next Door and Window, thousands of options, one perfect fit.
We're all ready for sunshine, drinks on warm nights with friends, and getting in shape for the summer. Do it all at Riviera Country Club and Sports Center in Orland Park. a 100,000 square foot private facility with affordable fitness and social activities the entire family can enjoy. Keep your workouts fun with 64 aerobic, strength and conditioning, aquatic, and yoga classes, all included with your membership. Work on your jump shot on a full basketball court, your backhand on 2 indoor courts and outdoor clay courts. You can even take a ride on their outdoor water slide and enjoy a few laps in their indoor pools. For mental relaxation, Riviera Country Club and Sports Center offers a men's and women's spa, each with their own sauna, steam room, and whirlpool. Wrap up the day poolside with food and beverages from Gatto's Restaurant and Bar. Call Riviera Country Club and Sports Center now to join, and the first 50 callers get their first month free. Call 708-349-1100 to schedule a tour today. Again, that's 708-349-1100. Riviera Country Club and Sports Center, much more than a health club.
Millwright work is often technical and requires a high degree of precision. The pros at Vans Industrial are skilled mechanics that can perform any type of millwright work, including installation and maintenance of your factory equipment and machinery. For your machine repair needs, look no further than Vans Industrial.
Hi, I'm Dave Van Camp, president of Vans Industrial. Vans Industrial is an industrial millwright contractor that can install new mechanical systems or repair existing systems. Our services include repair of bearings, shafts, shiv alignments, as well as installation of conveyors and bucket elevators. Our team of trained mechanics will respond to your emergency calls 24/7, keeping your systems operational. We're here to help you.
Call 833-VANS-IND for a free inspection of your facility. That's 833-VANS-IND. Interested in what else they do? Visit vansindustrial.com. That's VANS Industrial.com. Quality craftsmanship since 1964.
AM 560, The Answer.
Dan and Amy, and obviously we want to remark upon the passing of the great Charles Krauthammer yesterday. Good op-ed from a friend of his in the Wall Street Journal, Erwin Stelzer, who works at the Hudson Institute, and he remembers Krauthammer the man. Charles often traveled to speak at fundraisers for charities important to his colleagues. Went in some city to give a speech. He always found time to meet one-on-one with veterans whose spinal injuries would leave them wheelchair-bound for life. He said Charles didn't take himself too seriously. His humor, more often than not, was self-deprecating. When aimed at others, it was gentle, unhurtful, designed to persuade the target to have a second thought. And I thought it was nice yesterday, the Washington Nationals, he's a huge baseball fan,
right.
had a moment of silence at the game.
Oh, that's wonderful. And, of course, he leaves just a lot of heavy hearts on both sides. Liberals alike are just saying what a great, brilliant man he was. And his works will live on forever, and it will influence the American culture forever. Because there was no one like Charles Krauthammer.
Had the opportunity to talk to him a few years ago when I was at a different station when his book, The Things That Matter, came out. And, he's just one of those guys that's just a different kind of conversation. And even last year, before he took ill, we would regularly use his insights on this show. I mean, just for example, talking about Comey. Think about that.
Look, it looks awful. Normally you give immunity so that you can prosecute. You may lose the case, but at least there's not even a prosecution. The impression left is, and we probably will never know, it was understood, not said, not written, not emailed, but it was understood we were not going to indict the Democratic candidate for the presidency.
And I mean, that's essentially what the IG's report released last week concluded. Without saying it, the fix was in. Krauthammer saw it a year ago.
Thanks so much for making us part of your week. Have a wonderful weekend. We'll see you back here Monday morning at 5 a.m. Now here is Mike Scott.
Heavy rains leading to flooding in Chicagoland. WIND Chicago News Time, 9 o'clock.